Yeah, we good. You can take your time.
What it do, y'all? It's your boy G Fitz, man. We here. BSN presents Tell the Truth. And today's Tell the Truth topic has been the hot debate that we've been talking about for years. You see the background. MJ, LeBron. Who is the GOAT? So I've been seeing a whole lot of different avenues and different networks, different medias, and all this talk, all these social media groups, we talk about it pretty much damn near every day about who is the GOAT, be it LeBron James or Michael Jordan. And we kind of exclude the other guys that could be on this list as considered as GOATs, but trying to keep it on these two, LeBron and MJ, right? I'm going to sit here and I want to hear it from my guy Suge. I know he's doing something real quick, but I want to hear it from my guy Suge, and I'm gonna have a couple other people join in as we do this thing. I'm about to post a link up now for those who want to see it, but it's so much that we can really dissect and jump in on when it goes to the GOAT. How do we rank the GOAT? How do we break down who's the real GOAT of the NBA? And that's something that I really want to dive into first before we go too deep. So Suge, welcome to BSN Presents Tell the Truth. As always, I appreciate you when you jump on here. And
appreciate you, bro.
And you know, we always talk about this, man. It's a hot topic. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I want to know what's your criteria for ranking the GOAT of the NBA.
I mean, that's hard. I mean, honestly, I think it's really no criteria, actually. I think it's just all opinionated.
Okay.
But to be honest, I just feel to this level right now, it's just like how people go about certain things for a player, like, you know, to deny a player certain things that have been done, certain things they had to do. Like, you hear Wilt when he talk and he say stuff like, they changed the rules for me to fail and changed it for Jordan to be better. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it's just certain things that, you know, happen that we just can't deny. So, like, it's a lot of GOATs in my book, but Ron is just the one for me. I think the way people treat him, how disrespected he gets, he's really the only one. I think that's just the only way I can really put on why I believe he's the GOAT. It's just the way they have to try to make him not be the GOAT. I think he's the only one we stop from trying to actually let him be the GOAT. I think that's what makes it GOAT.
So you think he's been held back from being considered the GOAT because of the pushback from the media?
I mean, media counterparts. I mean, like, bro, when you literally came in the league to a team that literally said they didn't need him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't even got your teammates with you. Like, that's just one. You know what I'm saying? You're a young kid. You ain't really used to shit like that. So it's like, he been held back by everybody, bro. He been held back by, like, everybody. Like, you just see certain things in the league. You see Ginobili and Rondo taking pictures with fans, and you got them wearing T-shirts saying, fuck LeBron. Like, that type of shit is just way different for him. It was way more difficult for him. And I think just, like, what he had to go through and where he at now, that's really the way I say he's a GOAT, honestly. But, like, you know, I just be fucking with people sometimes, man. Like, I love Jordan, you know. Like, I don't dislike Jordan. I just think he came up in the perfect era. I don't dislike him. I think he came up in a good situation. I ain't saying he didn't earn it or, you know, shit like that. But, you know, the way Brown had to get it, man, is just, there's no denying that. They let Jordan be Jordan.
See, I kind of disagree with that, though, because, and the reason why I say I kind of disagree with that, when I see the way that they promoted, and when I say promoted, both of them got it. But when they really marketed Michael Jordan to be Air Jordan, which we seen and he grew into, those same praises were 10 times that with LeBron James. They called him the king when he was a sophomore in high school. So to say that, oh, well, he was always getting disrespected, players gonna always do that, especially when it's your counterpart, and then he's doing it at a high level for 19 years in a row. It makes it even more evident that he is the king. I can't say that, well, he's been disrespected so much, and that's why we make him the GOAT. And this is why I asked about accolades, because to me, sometimes the accolades and the things you do on the court, because that's what I'm really going off of, is what you do on the court, is where I'm looking at for GOAT status. That's how I'm viewing it. But to say, well, he's the most disrespected, all right, well, a lot of guys are disrespected, but we can't say that because guys are disrespected, that's the reason why he's the GOAT. That's just my
opinion. A lot of guys are disrespected, but it's levels to which I'm talking about. It's really nothing to debate that LeBron is the most disrespected. And what I mean by that, if you have a 18-year-old kid coming in and you got a bunch of guys saying we don't need him, how you play through that? See, what I'm saying is at 19, and what I'm saying is the difference in what they had to go through is how successful they could be on the court. Sometimes that matters. Like, to be honest with you, I use myself as an example. Like, I could have probably went further than what I had, but I had a coach that was stopping me from doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was going back and forth with him. We ain't see eye to eye. He played me less minutes. I'm not saying it was really more so that, you know what I'm saying, for LeBron, but it's just like certain situations, bro. Like, if I can't even go in there trusting that my teammate's going to really play for me, that's already one thing to deal with. And I'm saying 3 years later, that man in the finals against a Tim Duncan team, when we really hold it against them for being there.
Well, and that, I'm glad.
So we talking about on the court. I'm talking on the court. At 22 years old, you know what I'm saying? 21 years old, Jordan was still in college putting in work.
Mm-hmm. Now,
you know what I'm saying? He had a coach.
That's perfect. That's a perfect segue, because I always look at evolution of the game and the way things happen. In 1984, when Michael Jordan comes into the league, at that time period from 82, 83, 84, those guys were not coming straight to the NBA from high school, and not saying that they couldn't do it. They chose to go to college so they could dominate on that level as well. Jordan even admitted it. And Dean Smith, God rest his soul, even said it. I'm the only one that held Jordan back from averaging 30 points a night. When the man was averaging 19 a game in North Carolina, he could have let him do more. He could have been left school, but Jordan wanted to stay in college. That wasn't the case for LeBron. LeBron had a different avenue in 2003. You like, yo, I got a chance to go and be the number one pick in the NBA and be to start my career, my professional career at 18. Same guys like KG, Kobe. It was just a different era and different time. So when we say that, at 22 years old, he was here when Jordan was here. All right, well, wait a minute now. Let's
No, but I'm not knocking that Jordan was there though. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying the path is different. Meaning, like, you got Dean Smith coaching you. You come up under that. Bron is in a loose-end high school game where he just basically running the game. He just basically doing everything, blowing guys out, getting 40, doing whatever he wants. I'm saying when you come into a league where it's all professionals, the league is older. They're like, when Bron came in, people forget that he wasn't playing against, he was playing against the Rasheed Wallaces and everybody you want to name. He was the young kid. They was the older guy. Like, the stuff he did on the court is what I'm saying. He was doing it at an earlier age. I'm not saying what Jordan did was wrong, or he couldn't come out of high school, or more guys back then. But I'm just saying, as of what we know now, professionally, he was 18 years old and he got 22 years old. He's in the finals with nobodies. Like, and I just don't understand why people think he should have just not went to the finals and lost earlier. Like, that's a big difference. He played Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili.
To me, when people do that and they bring that up, they don't give the real credit to LeBron. Now, this is me giving praise to LeBron. I've already said that I think LeBron James and Allen Iverson literally led the two worst teams in NBA history to the finals. The 2001 Sixers and LeBron 2007 Cavaliers. Those were two teams that shouldn't have been in the finals, in my opinion. And to go there with just one superstar is an amazing feat, especially for LeBron at 22 years old. So I give you credit with that one. But what I hate from LeBron fans is that they'll say, well, look at what LeBron did at 22 compared to Jordan at 22. Well, here's my point. He was a 4-year NBA professional at 22 years old, whereas Michael Jordan at 22 was a rookie. So it's a different caveat, because even though you playing with grown men at 22 and you were so dominant already, you didn't have 4 years of professional development already. I see my guy Mike Dubs in the building. What's good, Mike?
What's happening?
Ain't much. I know you're gonna jump in on some stuff here, but we talking about
I'm not here to talk tonight. I'm gonna be quiet because I don't want to. I'm gonna let y'all two go one-on-one, and I'm gonna listen. Mm-hmm. And if y'all want my opinion, I'll speak on it.
Well, remember, anybody that's watching the live, we just posted it all on Facebook. The link. I'm still learning how to use the Zoom so we can post the links down if people want to join on. This is unlimited here on the Zoom. So if anybody have an opinion on it, they definitely can chime in. I see my guy Marv. What's up, cuz? I see you on here as well.
What's up, cuz? How you doing?
What's going on with y'all tonight, man? Like I said, tonight we talking GOAT talk. LeBron and Michael Jordan. Who's the GOAT? Suge, I'm loving this right now, bro. So let's continue on. Again, I love the fact that LeBron has been the ultimate professional. That's one thing I'm going to always give him over top of Michael Jordan. He's been the ultimate professional for 19 years, and he's still playing at a high level in year 19. But I have the question I got to ask, and this is what I really want to ask everybody that's on here. If you leave a comment, that's cool. You can answer it there. What is your consideration on being a GOAT? How can you be considered the GOAT in the NBA? Anybody can answer. Don't leave me on no dead air. Where you at?
I was gonna say this for anybody or
anybody. It's kind of like me and you right now. Everybody else listening, whoever's on.
I really feel like everything comes into play. What you do on and off the court all plays into consideration of being a GOAT. Meaning like of literally what you did, like how it looks, like when Jordan is dominating the game, domination, stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think when it comes to everything, man, I just think LeBron the GOAT. Honestly speaking, I'm not really taking anything from Jordan, but it's like when people start nitpicking with Bron, that's when I feel like I got to nitpick with Jordan. Because people only nitpick certain situations with Bron and they use it against him. Like I hear all the time, oh, Scottie wasn't this, Scottie wasn't that. But then when y'all mention they're going to play the Golden State Warriors, is Scottie going to lock this shit up? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck. You know what I'm saying? How's it going to make a difference? If Jordan was alone, you got 4 superstars. So we don't talk realistic. You feel me? That's just the only thing I don't be.
I do agree with that. A lot of times we don't talk realistic. I seen you and Rob was going back and forth earlier today, and shout out to my bro. Y'all were talking about, well, LeBron always played with stacked teams. Well, we just finished bringing that up. In 2007, he played with one of the worst teams ever to make the finals, in my opinion. Even though they made the finals, who could you name that was an all-star? Who could you name that was even close to becoming an all-star on that 2017? Because if you want to say Zydrunas Ilgauskas, that dude was on his way out the door. It wasn't the same all-star Zydrunas Ilgauskas that we seen in 2001. That guy was all done. He had missed 2-3 years. So
while you on him, just remember the same Zydrunas Ilgauskas you talking about in 2007 was the starting center in 2011 when they played the Mavericks. Continue.
Exactly. So, and that's why I'm going there. So when I
look 4 years later, by the way.
So when I look at how we try to dissect talent that has played with LeBron compared to talent that has played with Michael Jordan, yes, 1984 until 1988, Michael Jordan played with some B-level talent. You can't count George Gervin, who's in his last years of his career, playing with Michael Jordan in 1986. That don't count. Playing with Orlando Warrick and Charles Oakley, the hustle dudes, those are role player dudes that he played with, and he got them somewhere where the Chicago Bulls at that time from 84 didn't do anything, and he got them into the playoffs. When I look at when it's time to go to championship time, though, you have Scottie Pippen, who is arguably one of the top 5 at the time, one of the top 5 small forwards of all time in NBA history, playing alongside the GOAT in people's eyes and Michael Jordan. So we can't knock that. Then also in '96, when you add Dennis Rodman into the mix, that's 3 top 75 NBA players, as noted, on the list that you're playing with all time in their prime, because they were in their prime. I don't care how nobody try to slice and dice. They were in their prime because they were still elevating and still winning while they were together in Chicago for that 3-year run. So we have to say, hey, look, he played with a loaded team too. It's just that we watched Jordan build up a team, stay with a team, and then they won and by building things around him. It kind of reminds me of Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee. You bringing in guys like Chris Middleton, who's a solid piece, who's becoming a star while playing alongside a GOAT potential guy in Greek. And when you go to LeBron, though, and this is when I knock LeBron, I watched LeBron leave Cleveland, and he took a step ahead of Jordan in '07 by leading a bad team to the finals. But he left Cleveland to go play with other superstars that were top 75 caliber players, Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, one who actually became a top 75 player and is one of the top 10 guys in the league. That's where that narrative starts going in for me and saying, yo left and went with 2 other guys in their prime to go win championships. And I do think he underachieved as well in Miami because they were loaded.
I hear you. I kind of disagree. I disagree, really. Honestly, I would say when you would say all the talent, right? We talking talent. I get that, right? The Brooklyn Nets had a lot of talent, role players that can do it all. But when that chemistry ain't there, it means a lot. When the chemistry ain't there, it means a lot. Yeah, I mean, I'm listening.
When was the chemistry never there? They went to 4 straight finals, right?
Who you talking about? With the Heat?
Yeah. When was the chemistry not there? They went to 4 straight finals. Like, that's, I'm just curious.
No. I'm not. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying that they didn't have chemistry. I'm saying with the Jordan team that you have and with the role players, I'm saying they played with each other. Both championship runs played with each other amount of time that they knew each other. So I'm saying they was going. But what I'm saying is when we mentioned 2011, we only mentioned those 3. You have to break down the rest of that roster. And let's compare them to Dallas. We're not comparing it to Jordan. You got to compare to what LeBron is playing against. We all talk about 2011 Dallas and they beat Bron, but we don't talk about when he swept Kobe.
Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this piece real quick because I'm glad you said that about chemistry and who you played with. In '96, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen were the only 2 players that were on the team that had won from 1993. They were the only 2. So it's a brand new roster in 1996. All of those dudes were different and that didn't win a championship. Steve Kerr was not there in '93. Ron Harper wasn't there in '93. Judd Bushler, Bill Whittington, Luke Longley, none of those dudes was there. Those dudes.
You're not understanding though.
I
understand that, but I'm not talking about just that one year. I'm talking about when you go on to a 3-peat, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is the same thing with 2011 when he got players that actually could play a role that was actually well enough to play. The Mike Millers, the Shane Battiers, the first year. Now when Ray Allen got them, talking about that first year. When he got those guys, it was a different ball game. Instead of having Carlos Arroyo, like, you know what I'm saying? It's different what I'm saying to you. Like, with their chemistry, you can build that. Okay, Jordan had that. He didn't need a bunch of guys because at that time, it wasn't a bunch of teams stacked up. When he was against the odds, when he had little guys, no guys, same little role players, and he had to go against the stacked as Boston Celtics. That's what y'all mentioned. Oh, they had 5 Hall of Famers. They were stacked. But what I'm saying is, Bron didn't always have the best talent. You can't just go through 3 people, bro. That 1 through 15 matters. If you go down Dallas roster to Sean Marion, you got a guy like Caron Butler who could have really played. He ain't even played. That's how much they had. We can go down the list. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can name them all,
So
but
you,
like if you
so
go down the role players, they better. It
like
was
the
better than
Mavericks
Miami.
you think Mavericks had more talent than the Miami Heat?
I don't
The
think
first
they
year?
had more
Now,
talent. I
look,
think they had
I
a
ain't saying they
different
had more
type of
talent,
style
but I
team.
think they had a
I
better
think,
chemistry because they had played together for a while in Dallas.
and
But
I think with Miami, they just tried to shove it together the first year, thinking how everybody would think. It's three superstars, and y'all just gonna run it.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly because you had the three best individual talent on your squad. And in basketball, and then just my opinion, if you're the best of all time and
Who
you're
was Chris
up
Bosh?
to,
Chris Bosh was the what best power forward at that time? He was better than Tim Duncan.
Remember, I'm only talking about in that series against Dallas. If you have three of the top four players overall in the series is on one side, you got to win that. And then if you got the GOAT,
How many All-Stars was on the Dallas Mavericks team?
two.
The year they played Miami? Who was the two?
Sean Marion was an all-star. You talking
No,
about
Sean Marion wasn't an all-star. He was a previous. He was a
Oh, you
previous
saying
all-star.
that year? You saying that year?
Yeah.
Only
That year that
Only
the Dallas Mavericks
It was
played.
only dirt. It was only dirt.
Okay.
But
And how many All-Stars was on the hold up? And how many All-Stars was on the Miami Heat?
Three.
All right.
Why does All-Star matter? No, because y'all doing that, but I'm saying
I'm
like
not
you're not
going into
understanding what I'm
All-Star
saying. You had a point guard in Jason Kidd who's been to the finals and lost. He's hungry for that. He's been there. We talking about Mike Bibby. He ain't been there. We talking about Jason Terry, who been there and lost. They wanted that. You got Sean
Can we say that we have
lost? Well, not there.
Hold up, but can we say we have a Dwayne Wade that has been there and won?
Yeah,
can we say that? Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he's not necessarily hungry for a ring, right?
No, he's hungry for a win. He didn't set that shit up for him not to win wins with LeBron. He set the shit up to win 4 rings with LeBron. You just said
Wade got what you said. They underachieved. That's cool. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is y'all underestimated. You making it a Braun thing more than you making it a Dallas thing. Dallas did. I'm not making
LeBron thing.
Dallas did sweep the Lakers, who just won the championship, Mike. Dallas did 4-1.
But that wasn't the same Lakers team.
The finals the next year.
That wasn't the same Lakers team.
No matter what you saying, Kobe was on the team, wasn't he?
Fellas, hold on. We can't overtalk. We gotta go and talk in turn. So go ahead, Mike. Finish yours first, and then she'll come right back with it.
That wasn't the same Lakers team that won the championship though that they swept. That was not the same Lakers team. You can't credit a team that did something the year before. That's not the same team that comes back the next year. You can't credit that. But what you're saying is, I'm trying to figure this part out. You crediting all these guys on Dallas who has lost in the finals over a guy who has won in the finals, who know how to win.
Guy, Mike.
No. LeBron been to the finals as well. Hold up. LeBron been to the finals as well. So that's now there's two guys who's been on the same bright lights as the two guys you named on the other team.
Because two guys are named on the other team. Or did I name more than two? Dirk, Jason Kidd, Sean Marion, Jason Terry. I'm naming more guys.
At that point, Sean Marion had that.
I ain't saying he went to the finals. I'm saying deep playoff runs to the point where he could have been a championship caliber person, and they lost.
Yeah,
I'm saying he's been there and done that. When you get the opportunity, role play, it happens, bro. That's what I'm making it like. You making it seem like they just went through Braun.
No, I'm not talking.
Did Kobe have Pau Gasol?
Hold on, because I'm gonna go here with it because I'm agreeing with both of y'all. But I do think both the Dallas team in 2011 had a deep roster with some playoff experience, but so did the Miami Heat in 2011. They still had the Udonis Haslem that was playing key roles. They had an Ilgauskas, like you just finished saying, that even though he was older, he had playoff experience. Braun is the best player in the world. Dwayne Wade is Dwayne Wade is arguably one of the top 5 players in the world, and Chris Bosh at the time was a top 10 player in the world. Those dudes knew how to play and win basketball games. And in my opinion, the best player on the court was LeBron James, and he did not play to the level of his abilities in that finals. I don't care how you slice it and dice it. That man made Jason Terry, and it's an ultimate meme. He made Jason Terry and JJ Barea look like LeBron stoppers when they truly aren't. They were just role player dudes. and he was frustrated. I gotta give a shout out to my guy Chauncey. Yo, my bro, what's going on, shorty?
What's up, Jay?
Hey, much chilling. Go ahead, Shug. I know you gotta get that rebuttal though. Go ahead.
No. But I'm trying to tell you is, bro. I'm not even saying Bron didn't get outplayed. He did not show up. I'm not disagreeing with y'all. But what I'm just saying is you're disrespecting what the Dallas Mavericks had because
I'm
not saying everybody. I'm just saying the general consensus. I'm saying everybody when you bring up the Mavericks, nobody bring up the Mavericks. They bring up Bron. So we talking about that championship. Name me the other ones. You got Golden State, you got San Antonio. These is the teams he's losing to, bro.
Right, and then
they are all-time teams.
He's losing.
None of the teams that I named is worse than the teams Jordan played. So the Sonics is better than that Golden State team or the Spurs team. That's what y'all telling me. Y'all really believe that?
I was waiting to see where you was going to finish.
Y'all can answer now. I'm really asking. You really believe the Sonics, the Suns, all those teams was better than the Spurs and the Warriors team?
This is the easiest answer for that. You're trying to compare different eras to what the man played in his era.
But that's what y'all doing.
Hold on. I've never done that though. That's what I'm saying. Everybody always, and that's why we go through these debates of who's the GOAT. You can't compare different eras and say, well, this guy was this guy, because we'll never see those matchups. Just like I hate the fact that we see this, the Bulls of 96 versus the Warriors of 2016 or 17. I don't want to hear that statement because we'll never see that matchup. We will never know what's going on in that matchup. We have to go off of the now and what we seen while they played. If Michael
that goes into play of what I'm saying they did.
He dominated.
Hey, but that goes to what I'm saying. The eras are different, bro. When you got Jordan, the Supersonics, if they would have had 2 to 3 more stars, I don't think Jordan would have beat that team if they have Hakeem Olajuwon.
But we gotta stop saying.
I understand what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. It's the same thing, bro. This is what happens.
Go ahead, Chance.
I want to step back to that Houston comment. This honestly speaking, because the years that Houston won those finals, but when Jordan came back, they was digging in the Bulls, bro. Houston was actually destroying the Bulls in the regular season.
Yes, sir.
Jordan on the team with Kenny Smith.
So Jordan didn't play in 95.
Huh?
Jordan didn't play in 95.
Not the years that he came back.
He didn't play in 95 in the playoffs.
He did. He did. But
what happened in that playoffs in 95? He was back.
I can feel where Chauncey going at. Yo, go Chauncey, finish it.
You know, like Jordan is the GOAT. I'm not coming in here to argue that he is the GOAT. But what I will say is the 2 years that Houston won, that he wasn't there, they dominated. When he came back, they dog walked the Bulls in the regular season for like 2 years. So even if Jordan was in the league them 2 years, Houston might have stole one of them in his era. Is a possibility, but again, we'll never know. You know.
But you know what? Great.
Well, I'm trying to answer. Why did Jordan retire? Why did we don't talk that he took 2 years off, right?
It's probably that
he didn't. We canceled. Oh, okay. So we canceled 95. He didn't play. So we say he took 2 years off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He retired.
What was everybody else doing in the league?
When Jordan retired, they was well.
They were playing, right?
Houston,
so he had a 2-year hiatus and came back and went on a 3-year run.
A fact.
Y'all clown Bron for having a 3-month hiatus when everybody had the same break.
But that's not the same thing though, Suge. And that's what I'm saying when we
how
say
is it not? A break is a break, my guy.
No, a break is not a break.
So
I'm explaining to you right now. Hold up. Let me get him. Let me get this.
One thing I'm gonna fall back. Again, I wasn't arguing that Jordan ain't the GOAT because Jordan is the GOAT, because I seen a post and I posted it and it boggled me, because how can LeBron be the GOAT when you got somebody born in his same city that got the same amount of rings in his era on his watch?
And hold up, watch this. Let me add to that though. Let me add to that. And he's with the one organization that he's been with, and they built it through drafting. Whereas LeBron has jumped from 3 different teams and gotten more trades than every person in the league at every spot to get other superstars and quality role players to come and join them to win.
You said that's the trade he got? So when he traded in 2018 and he got Jordan Clarkson, George Hill, Jeff Green, those are the superstars y'all talking about. He was supposed to be Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Sean Livingston.
Let's be realistic. That man didn't want to play with Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose and those dudes no more. That's why they made that mid-season trade.
Hold on. So are you blaming him for playing with stars or not wanting to play with stars?
Negative. I've never said that. I've never said that. What I'm saying, and I'm going to keep saying, LeBron is great. And now that you brought up 2018, that's the third worst team that went to the NBA Finals. LeBron led 2 of them. Never knocked LeBron on that. But what I'm saying, when you try to compare a 3-month break to a 2-year retirement, bro, if you sitting on your ass for 2 years compared to you chilling and resting for 3 months while you still in basketball shape, that's a complete difference. And when you are the most experienced team going into the bubble, you can't knock knock people for saying that.
Hey, Greg.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Jordan's first game back, what did he give him? Like fresh off the break, what did he give him?
I know he had a game winner in Atlanta.
Which first game?
And he had 55 against the Knicks.
Are you talking about his 96 year when he came back, right?
In 95, yes. 95.
He came back in 95.
He didn't play in 95.
He did play 95.
No, he retired in 94. He didn't play in 94. He didn't play none in 94.
He only played 95.
Oh, he only left for 1 year now.
Games in 95.
Only retired for like a year and a half, right?
So in 95, what happened?
He played the last 20 games of 95, and then the playoffs.
95, what happened?
They lost to the
Orlando Magic.
Right. Oh no! Well, guess what? If he'd have lost, then he lost. So, like that's what I'm saying. He lost, but you're making excuses on why he lost. He was back. He had a double nickel game, and we celebrate that. He hit game winners. We celebrate that. But then when he lose, he wasn't back yet. Which one is it? This is what I'm saying by talking realistic.
We never.
That's what I mean by talking realistic.
Now, Suge, that's some wild ass shit. We talking about a man that was playing baseball. Because, hold on, no. Well, let me say something then, because we always listening to you, and you defend the shit out of this nigga. Like I said, I wasn't gonna say nothing tonight. I was gonna be quiet, listen. But your shit is wild, and I'm trying to respect what you're saying because you're a Braun fan, and Braun fans gonna say wild ass shit to make them look good. But I'm about to sell this shit. You ain't gonna say a man that just finished playing baseball, just finished shooting a fucking movie, come back and play on the level that he played on, and say, "Oh, yo, he lost. He ain't that guy." But what happened when he
Braun shot a movie and averaged 30?
Huh?
It was an
Braun shot a movie and averaged 30.
And they lost. And they didn't make the playoffs.
So did Jordan. So you about to say the same shit?
No, and they didn't.
No, it didn't win shit.
I'm listening.
He shot a movie and he averaged 30, and they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't win shit. What you talking about?
He didn't even play half the goddamn games. He played 58. AD played. Come on now. Let's talk realistic. This is what I'm talking about.
And you're still doing
but let's talk realistic, Greg. Did he not
miss
most of the game?
You're still doing the same thing that I just said we can't do. If we just said Jordan played 20 games in 95 coming back and then lost, you just said LeBron played 50 games and didn't make the playoffs and tried to justify because Anthony Davis was hurt. We can't do that.
Both of them was hurt.
We have to go off what the whole umbrella is.
Bro, both of those guys was hurt in and out the whole season. We're not saying he was out because we're not talking about he came back the last 12, 15 games. We're talking about he was out the last 12, 15 games. What do you mean? He's out from injury. The team is not going to be successful. What do you mean?
The man.
You said the man shot. You said the man shot the movie and averaged 30. But that shit
don't. They lost, but you still got to take into consideration that he was hurt the damn games.
So what about the other seasons when he wasn't fucking hurt and they lost and didn't make the playoffs?
When?
His rookie. I can't count his rookie and his sophomore year.
You're going to count the year with Lonzo?
I'm not talking about Cleveland.
He barely played.
I'm not talking about for Cleveland. I'm not talking about for Cleveland. I'm talking about for the Lakers.
The first year in LA, he played with Lonzo Ball and them, and he missed half the season and let them play the whole season. Then they got traded. That's exactly what happened. The next year they won the ring, and he played 82 games. What do you mean?
And then the season after that, he played. Then the season after that,
he got hurt. And him and AD came back in the playoffs. They lost to the Phoenix.
And how many games did he play this season just past then?
Just now?
Yeah.
54, right?
Just now.
You said 34.
54.
No,
Nah,
no.
Oh yeah, he played 54. He played more than that, but yeah, he played more than 34.
Yeah, he played a lot more games.
Jordan
than
and
that.
Kobe would have never took no games off.
But you saying
Facts.
Kobe never took games off? The man hurt, bro. Now we're talking about different arguments. Now it's
I'm
the
not even
argument
talking about that
Jordan
because
him. You bringing
it's
other
part
shit
of
in.
the game.
This is what I mean by talking realistic. You try to make a point, and then you talking about groins.
What's your
Like
point?
the man was hurt, bro.
What is your
I don't
point?
care what Kobe could play through, bro. It's about when he does play.
When he does play, they ain't been doing
Well,
shit
and that's
for
the
LA.
case. And that's the case. In Braun's second year, he wouldn't have been out with a fractured foot, and he was younger than Jordan.
True that.
So what are you saying? Fractured.
Mike,
He got a fractured foot and mixed that many games. Braun had a teammate fucking his mother, so he should have missed a million games like Jordan did. What do you mean? You making excuses?
When did Jordan miss a million games?
They did play. He played in '95,
When did Jordan miss?
and they
When did Jordan
lost.
miss
And
a
y'all
million
saying he
games?
didn't play.
But that's a
When did
whole
Jordan miss a million
I'm not
games?
saying a million games, bro. Now you trying to take it literal. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
When he
What year
took
we
a
talking?
year off in '94 and tried to come back in '95 and win, and he lost.
So can I ask this question though before we
He
go?
lost
Can I ask
to the
this question?
team that Hakeem beat.
Hold up. This question is directly for sure. Nobody else. In 1994, when Jordan retired, do you think he did that just because he wanted to retire, or he did it because he was trying to avoid competition? Be honest.
No, I don't think he was avoiding no competition. Hell no, I didn't say that.
So when I'm asking that question, I'm happy when I ask that question because that was another narrative. We can't keep bringing this stuff up and say, yo, well, he set out for a year and a half and then came back and lost, and we give praise for Jordan. Nah, I never said that. The man didn't play, so we can't even count that if he didn't play.
Just because I said he didn't duck smoke, don't mean I'm not saying that he got rest while others did. If you want to talk, he was in baseball. Obviously, he was still in athlete shape, right? So at the end of the day, he was still doing something. If he was good enough to play baseball when his father died, he could have fucking played basketball. So I'm not saying he ducked smoke. But all I'm saying is if we're going to give him the excuse, we got to give everybody the same excuses, bro. That's all I'm saying. If you give one, I'm not saying one here is the goal or not.
Go ahead, Marv.
No, I was saying baseball shape is different than basketball shape. And
it is.
Number two, like just my second point is that the defense is different. Like Mike would probably have done this 60 every game with these.
Yeah, the style of play that we play.
That's another narrative. I understand. I get it.
Hey, can I
get the game with this soft ass defense?
You compare, like Greg said, you comparing errors we would never know.
Hey, can I clap on something real quick? Like, so the year that y'all win the championship, the Lakers don't even supposed to be in the Lakers year. The year y'all know y'all claiming so hard to this. You know, in real like they didn't even supposed to be in the fucking bubble.
Yeah.
Lakers don't even supposed to be there. Like they made an avenue. They made an avenue so they could get more basketball.
I got a quick question. Why does everybody?
It was Braun's fault. They went to the bubble, bro. I got you.
Hold on, but hold up, because I know we was going Chauncey. I don't want you to forget. What you just say?
I want to just know why does everybody bash the bubble so much? I'm just kind of curious.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that because watch this. Nobody bashed when LeBron won in a strike shortened year when they won 66 games in 2012.
I think it's different.
Nobody did that with Tim Duncan in '99.
And that's the next person I was going at. Nobody bashed Tim Duncan when he won 9.
To be honest with you, though, at first they did bash LeBron, but it's over now.
And here's my thing. Everybody still had a chance to win the championship because all those teams that was in the playoff mix, including those teams that were on the bubble, which is the Portland Trailblazers at the time, and teams that were 8, 9, and 10, they all went to the bubble.
What happened?
Hold on, what you mean? The Clippers was there?
That's my point.
They blew a 3-1 lead.
It don't matter who win. It don't matter who won it. That's why I don't understand where we going with this narrative talk about how people knock LeBron for winning in the bubble. Only people that's joking, in my opinion, do that shit when they say, oh, well, LeBron won in the bubble. Because if Greek and them would have won in the bubble, guess what? I said Greek got a championship. If the Clippers won, the Clippers got a championship. We can't knock something that's going on because that's just like playing in the BSN. If we had a championship with the BSN, guess what? You're going to win that championship with the BSN no matter where we play that shit at. You cannot sit there and knock the bubble because it was still high-level competition. That's just my opinion. The only thing that helped LeBron out is because they were the oldest team going in. Yep. He's one of the older players. He was allowed to rest for 3 months and get his mind right. And when you are one of the best, if not the best players in the world, you're going to take advantage of everything you get. And that's what he did. And he did the right thing.
And then the bubble left no excuses. You know what I'm saying? You had no fans. You had no distractions. You had 100% focus on basketball. So I just don't understand the knock on it. I'm not trying to defend or take away from anything. I'm just curious on why does people bash the bubble when you're 100% focused, when you're locked in with nothing but basketball.
See, that's the funny part, because half of the players that was in the bubble said they'd prefer not to be in the bubble because it's like, this is not how we, this is not our, most of the guys that played in the bubble said we'd have preferred not to be in the bubble. We would have took the season just off and start fresh. Most of the guys didn't want to be there. They said that, like, you go around, it was a big panel. A lot of them, like more than half of the guys said they didn't want to be there. Even Braun said he didn't want to be there. Braun said he didn't want to be there. He didn't believe in the Braun said he didn't even believe in the little
Braun didn't want to play without
9 versus 10, 9 versus 10, and 11 versus 12. Braun said he didn't believe in that shit. Braun didn't want to be in the bubble.
Yeah, but then
he wasn't even ready to go out there when the Black Lives Matter thing happened with Milwaukee.
That's when he didn't want to go out there, and that's also when the Clippers didn't want to go out there. But also, and this is when I start messing with LeBron and a lot of his fans. At first, he said he was cool. He liked the experiment with the 8-9 situation. Then all of a sudden, he liked it. The year when they were stuck in the play-in situation,
he liked it.
Yeah, when it benefits you, you like it.
When did he say he liked it?
Oh, so you don't remember when he said that? When he spoke on that? The year when they was the 7th seed, when they had to play Golden State? And matter of fact, we got it vice versa.
3 over Steph. Yeah, I remember.
We actually got it vice versa. When he was in the bubble, he said he liked the idea of having the 8-9 matchup and those guys playing to see who was getting in. And then the year when he was stuck in that play-in situation, he said they need to get rid of him. So which way do you want it? Can't have it both ways. And that's some of the things that piss me off with LeBron, but that's outside of basketball on the court.
That's just personal. That's not even like.
That's why I said that doesn't matter. That's.
But I'm saying people do that and take that whole shit and like leave him in a box where he ain't this, he ain't that, he this, he ain't that, because of all that shit you just said. A bunch of nothing.
Yes,
I can literally say the same thing. At first, it was he took 2 years off. He took a year off and played baseball. Well, what I said was, if he's well enough to play baseball, he was well enough to play basketball. I didn't say he ducked smoke, but you making excuses that he can play one sport and not do the other. All I'm saying is that was Braun. It would be some other shit. It would just be I don't like that he did.
You're still making narrative.
That's all I'm saying.
And
nobody didn't say Mike didn't lose, and nobody didn't say Mike didn't lose in the playoffs in '95. And nobody out here said Mike didn't lose in the playoffs in '95. But what we did say,
he took 2 years off. Which includes '95.
Okay, he didn't go to a basketball training camp in 2 years. You're right.
Why does that matter?
No, because isn't that when you get in shape? What are you talking about? Fuck out of here. Every sport goes to training camp for a reason. Every
Did he have 55 in the Garden?
What the fuck does that have to do with every sport?
Was he in basketball shape when he had 55 in the Garden?
What does that have to do with what the fuck I'm talking about?
It has a lot to do with anything. A nigga can get 55 and he not in basketball shape.
No, it does not.
Now he's in basketball
shape. To do with nothing.
He just wins the chips now all of a sudden.
That shit has nothing to do. What I'm saying is Michael Jordan didn't go to 2 training camps 2 years in a row. Yeah. In '96, Michael Jordan went to training camp
with the best rebounder in history.
I don't give a fuck who on his team. In '90,
it don't matter.
That's the
no, that shit doesn't matter. In '96, and '97, '98, he went to training camp and he won.
Man, I hate that. That's why I said we can't really have these realistic debates because you're gonna always find something.
Yo said with the greatest rebounder of all time.
Hold up, Mike. Because the whole time when I'm talking Jordan and LeBron, I'm literally only really trying to dissect them two guys on the biggest stage when the moments matter for them. Because that's what I determine when a GOAT is going to show his worth. I've watched how LeBron in tight situations, when the shoulders had to lean on him, if game 6 in Boston, when he had to go out there and lead his team to a win, to push to a game 7 while he was in Miami, that's something I say, that's some GOAT shit. When he did the same thing in the finals in game 7 in 2013, that was some GOAT shit. But when I watched Jordan do it, Jordan made sure he was never going to a game 7 because he took care of business when it mattered. And that's where I'm going at. I hate when you just said that right there, Suge, about
that's a narrative.
No, it wasn't really about Dennis, but it was just to say that he came back with different players.
Make those statements.
No, he came back with different players, better players. It ain't have nothing to do with him being the shit.
You know how old Dennis Rodman was? You know how old Dennis Rodman was? Like, do you know how old Dennis Rodman was in 1996? Do you know how old Dennis Rodman was in 1996?
Why does it matter?
I think that matters. What I'm saying
that matters a lot.
Look, this
why does it matter? What was he in the league during that time?
He came back with
what was Dennis Rodman in the league during that time?
He came back with one more player, bro.
What was Dennis Rodman in that league?
Y'all told me in 96 there was only 2 players on that team that been there before, which means in 95 it was everybody except for Scotty, right? That was there. Which one is it? Which one is it?
I said in 1995, when Michael Jordan came back, when he went to the playoffs and lost to the Magic, there was only 2 guys on that team in 1995 that had been on the championship team. And that was Scottie Pippen. I never said 96. In 96, when they signed Dennis Rodman, that's a guy that went to the finals with the Detroit Pistons and won. So now you got 3 top 75 guys on one team in 96. That's great, and those were the guys they built their team around. That's what I said.
And what happened in 96?
They won.
Okay, Jordan was drafted. Jordan, I got you. And
Jordan did go to his first training camp for 2 years, though.
84 through 90, he didn't go through training camp either, right?
You said what?
When he came back with the Wizards, he wasn't at training camp. He did go to training camp.
He went to training camp
with the Wizards?
He went to training camp with the Wizards. Yeah, he went to training camp with the Wizards.
Yes. For 2 years,
he
at 40 and 41. At 40 and 41, he went to 2
training camp. No, but I'm asking you, in them Wizards years, did he go to training camp?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so those years, what happened?
They lost.
But why?
Because the team was not good. They had no talent, and he was 41.
Hold on. No. You just blamed the team. Now it's the team.
No, I didn't. I said the team was bad, and he was 40.
The team was bad, or was it Mike's fault? Because if that was Braun, it was Braun's fault. I know you ain't saying it, Greg. I'm not talking to you, Greg, because you keeping it a buck. But they know who I'm talking about.
I got you, Suge. You're 100% right. It was Michael Jordan's fault in 2002 and 2003 with the Washington Wizards. It was Michael Jordan's fault that they was some shit. Watch this.
Hold on. Didn't he put that team together?
Let me finish.
Didn't he put that team together?
In the 4 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James at 36, 37, 38, and 39. Why hasn't he at 36, 37, 38, and 39 been to the playoffs 3 out of those 4 years? Tell me why.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
He was hurt.
But it's him. I'm not saying anything about the team or saying that he didn't go to training camp.
He was hurt.
He got hurt.
You said
he couldn't play.
He was hurt when he would only play 54 games. He averaged 30.
Yo, which one sound more realistic, Greg? Keep it a buck right now. Which one sound more realistic? I said a nigga didn't make the playoffs because they was hurt. I said a nigga didn't make the playoffs because he was hurt. Or saying a nigga didn't win because he didn't go to training camp.
Didn't I say the same thing about Michael Jordan in Washington? And you said, oh no, it was the team?
I didn't say it was the team. I didn't say it was the team. You said it was Michael Jordan's fault in Washington. I said, yes, it was, because he made that team. I said Jordan made that team. He had the power. Wasn't he trying to get Elton Brand for Kwame Brown and all that? He got them to draft him. I'm saying he did that. And I'm saying when it was him, he was some shit. He thought he had
nobody ever said that Michael Jordan was the greatest GM ever because he's one of the worst.
I didn't say he was the GM. He was playing then, brother. He was playing. He was with Washington.
Hey, you know what Michael Jordan's job was to do? Sure. You know what Michael Jordan's job was to do when he played for the Wizards?
To just score.
His job was to sell tickets every fucking night. And where he was at, that was his job, to sell tickets.
No, his job was to win a championship.
No, his job was to sell tickets. That's why the last 2 years of Michael Jordan's career, every fucking game he played sold out. He did his job. Mike did his job.
Michael Jordan is going to sell out, bro.
He,
Play a game right now is going to sell out.
No, fuck that. I'm not trying what you're talking about. His job is to sell tickets.
What is that? So his job was to sell tickets. So, and you telling me in all the 82 games and all the playoffs that could have happened in championships, he didn't want no part of that. He went in there and literally said, "I'm gonna sell tickets. I don't care about winning." That's what he said. But listen to what I'm saying. You can say that. So in 2011, Bron just said they're gonna win. That's his excuse. That's the same thing.
See, you overtalk people. Like you gotta let people talk. That's your problem. First and foremost, I said, as a wizard, Michael Jordan's job, he was an executive. His job was to sell tickets. You can't mix what his job was when he was with the Bulls.
What are you talking about? He was playing with the Wizards, Mike.
But he was the executive.
He played every game to win. He didn't play to lose.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk, Shook. I'm gonna let you talk.
So you telling me Michael Jordan played to lose?
I've never said that. I will never say that. Michael Jordan.
So why are you telling me about tickets? Okay, so LeBron's biggest thing right now is to pass Kareem. So what are we talking about? His biggest shit wasn't to win championships with the Lakers. It was to pass Kareem in a Lakers uniform. So when I say that, how does that sound, Mike? That sound good to you?
That wasn't like an excuse. LeBron said this shit live. I'm coming to LA to win championships. LeBron said this shit. What the fuck you talking about, sir?
Jordan came back in 95 to win a championship in a Bulls uniform.
I'm coming to LA to win championship. Michael Jordan said,
Hey, Greg, you on the media. What did they say he came to LA for? What did they say he came to? What was the consensus that LeBron came to LA for?
Look,
he didn't say a
fucking thing about Let Greg do it. He the host. Let Greg do it.
LeBron said a fucking thing about Kareem.
Fellas.
LeBron said a fucking thing about Kareem. You making shit up.
Let's bring it back. Let's be realistic. We already know that LeBron James had 2 agendas to come to LA. His first agenda was to come out there to win a championship because he wanted to be the first player to win 3 championships on 3 different franchises. I get it.
Exactly.
He did that part. His second narrative is to become the all-time leading scorer in the NBA in a Lakers uniform because he wants to pass it over top of Kareem. We all know that LeBron is a stat and a historian guy. We know what he want to do. When he retires, whenever he does hang it up, LeBron's probably going to be the first and maybe be the only 40, 10, and 10,000 guy. Period. He's going to get 40,000 points. He's going to have 10,000 assists. He's going to have 10,000 rebounds. He is one of the best of all time. But I'm going to say it one more time. I said it early on this podcast. I'm going to say it again. When I'm talking about the GOAT of basketball, it's always based off of what you do in the biggest moments on the court. I've watched Michael Jordan in his biggest moments fail and succeed. I've watched him succeed more than he has failed. Whereas I've watched LeBron has failed and succeeded as well. But on the biggest stage, I've watched LeBron James fail. And I hate the narrative of, well, he played against this dynasty and this dynasty. I hate that shit. Because guess what? Kyrie Irving ain't no bum. Kevin Love ain't no bum. Neither is Chris Bosh and neither is Dwayne Wade. Those guys ain't no bums. Them dudes is all world. They're going to be Hall of Fame players. But we trying to knock it because he lost the team. Guess what? That's on him. Because he's one of the guys, LeBron, that started I got to leave and go join a superstar team when they in their prime compared to what Mike was trying to say earlier, when the Bulls in 96 got Dennis Rodman, who I believe at the time was 35 years old. That's kind of getting past your prime, right? Because that's normally when you get past your prime. You just
what was Melo?
Game.
What was Melo?
What about this? Ain't got nothing to do with Melo because Melo.
Oh my God! You making
listen, Shug, because I'm
making excuses for Jordan, bro.
You
make excuses for LeBron.
You're trying to make an excuse for him, and this is what I'm getting at.
I'm making the same
what
excuse.
was Melo? Melo is chasing a ring right now, yes, and he played with LeBron. But Anthony Davis is supposed to be the centerpiece, who's 28 in his prime, right?
Yeah.
You see how easy that was when I said, well, what is Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis supposed to be top 5 player in the league, 28.
Yeah. Supposed to be, but you telling me what you supposed to be.
But
that's what I'm saying. You telling me what Chris Bosh was. Mike, hold on, Greg. I really want to talk to you for a second because y'all talk yourselves right into a hole where I just get y'all niggas.
No,
Mike said,
hold
on. Listen, I'll let you talk.
No, Mike,
I'll let you talk. Mike said, these is Mike words. He said, it don't matter what you did the year before. So y'all talking about Chris Bosh being a 26 and 12, 13 guy. What was he in Miami? He was an 18 and 10 guy. He wasn't that same guy. Okay, no, so that was his. So listen to what I'm saying to you. You make excuses for what you're saying. No, so he wasn't that same Chris Bosh. That was a superstar.
No, Shug. Because
Kevin Love was a 26 and 13 guy. He wasn't that guy in Cleveland. Hold on, no, because I'm going to talk you into the circle. You said LeBron's first and second thing was to win a championship and to pass Kareem. His real first thing they said he came there was for business, bro. You're just not keeping it a buck. They told him that he was coming there to be a movie star.
You literally earlier just said on this podcast that when you play on a team, you have to have somebody that plays your role. Because that's what Dallas did with Sean Marion, who was a 20-point all-star. When he went to Dallas, he became a defender. So if Chris Bosh was 26 and 13 in Toronto, and then he get to Miami, and then the first year, all of them still want to score all their points, and somebody had to sacrifice. Chris Bosh was the one that sacrificed so the other two could keep getting theirs.
That's funny shit. They said that shit about Chris Bosh. That like everybody can't fucking average 30.
I'm not.
Everybody can't average 30.
Bro.
Everybody can't average 30.
I'm not saying he couldn't do whatever, bro. I understand, but I'm saying what he
Chris
was.
Bosh was the same. Chris Bosh was the same
That's
player.
What he was.
All them
Kevin
years.
Love was not the same player as he was in the Timberwolves.
Because some dudes have to sacrifice to allow others to continue to do their better part. I've already said that I think LeBron James is the best of whatever team he's on. But to sit there and try to say, well, we're going to shit on Kevin Love for what he did and only get 18 and 10, he had to be a dude that went away from the basket because LeBron got ahead of driving lane. So if you say Kevin Love...
Same thing with Chris Bosh.
Same thing with Chris Bosh. Based off what y'all said he was. He wasn't those guys. Because y'all say that, but then hold on, but y'all say that, but when Bron sit out those games, why do they lose? If he had those guys,
I swear, guys. I wish I had my computer right now.
When Kyrie was out, they went undefeated. When LeBron was out, and it was Kyrie and Kevin Love, they lost. They went like 3-7.
So a 10-game window. So hold on.
I'm talking about in those windows. But you're telling me they got superstars. You acting like this is what I'm saying to you. They weren't the same players. Period. Like you said, when you get adjusted to a role, that's what you become, right? I never said anything about that.
I can't give you that because remember, that's regular season. And when I'm going in the playoffs, when they all there, because in the playoffs they all played, bro.
Hold up for a second, though.
No, they did not all play. When he lost in 2015, he didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love.
All right, so Kevin Love, he was a walking 2020 guy before he came to LA, before he came to Cleveland. You mentioned the playoffs. Minnesota wasn't in the playoffs, and Kevin Love wasn't in the playoffs until he got to Cleveland. So we can't speak on the playoffs. It got to be regular season. And when he came to Cleveland, he had to succumb to the position and be a 3-and-D guy because that's what he needed. That's what LeBron needed. The same thing with J.R. Smith. The only person that didn't change their game was Kyrie. And the same thing with Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh became a 3-and-D guy after averaging 26, 27 in Toronto.
And Chauncey, the reason why he became
a
just because it fits to the strength of
LeBron. Yes,
because
of LeBron.
LeBron.
It's not because of LeBron.
So D-Wade and Kyrie had when Kevin Love first came to Cleveland, he was supposed to be the third guy to Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Kevin. That's why they got
that. Come on, Shug. Are you serious about this? Are you serious about what you're saying right now?
Y'all must ain't used to watch them boys, bro. Y'all must used to watch them boys. I don't even think y'all watch LeBron.
We're going into team ball now, and I gotta ask this serious question. Shug, do you really honestly think that Kevin Love was supposed to be the number 2?
I don't think he was meant to be, but I think when he came in there, they literally was trying to make him that number 2 guy. They was going to him more than Kyrie Irving. They was going to him more than Kyrie Irving before Kyrie started really showing his ass.
How can you make him the number 2 when he wasn't even on the team until the late in the training?
Because he was the 2020 guy. He was the superstar all-star. Kyrie was what, 1 year in of an All-Star?
Kevin Love was not no fucking All-Star. What are you talking about? He just was a numbers guy.
Thought he was. But
what are you talking about? Kevin Love wasn't an All-Star now in the West?
He wasn't
an All-Star. He was just a numbers guy. He was a number guy.
You said Kevin Love wasn't an All-Star? Oh my God! Listen, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I mean.
This
is exactly what I mean. Bro.
He was a numbers
This is exactly
guy.
what I mean, bro. This is exactly what I mean. Bro.
This is see, and this is what I'm talking about.
What I mean,
you just
bro.
said Kevin Love wasn't the same player when he came to Cleveland. Then you just said Chris Bosh was the same person when he came to Cleveland. Everybody watched basketball. Everybody that watched basketball. You the only one that's sitting here saying, "Yo, these guys not the same guys when they play LeBron." No, these guys got to dumb their game down to make Braun look Braun. And this is the fucking problem with you Braun fans, that y'all forget that guys got to play the way Braun need them to play, not the way I want to play. That's why Kyrie gives no fucks about LeBron, because Kyrie said, I'm not dumbing my game down to play next to you. That's why they didn't agree with each other. Because he was the one,
and he literally tried to play LeBron.
No, he was the one basketball player that told Bron, I'm not sucking your ass. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm going to play my game. I'm going to play my game. He just
kissed his ass, Mike. He just literally kissed his ass, Mike.
He said something nice. He didn't kiss his ass.
What you mean?
He didn't ask
to go to the Lakers.
He didn't.
Tried to get there.
No, he didn't.
Listen,
he didn't want to.
Watch this. Hold up. Watch
no,
this.
he didn't.
No,
if he wanted to be a Laker, he'd be a Laker. If he wanted to be a Laker, he'd be a Laker.
Yes. And
that's you talking about. This is the NBA. Everybody said they want to be where they want to be.
Yeah,
come on, man.
You can't do that. They wasn't giving up that second round pick.
If he wanted to get to the Lakers, it would have been
real. Be a Laker. If Kyrie wanted to be a Laker, he'd be a Laker.
If Irving really wanted to be a Los Angeles Lakers this year with LeBron James, all he had to do was say, I'm not going to opt into that money, because they would have made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to figure a way out.
No, it don't work like that, because then he do that.
Yes, it works like that. Yes, it does.
What money do they have?
It do work like that. It do work like that.
If he opts out and then they sign Russell Westbrook opts in, what money do they have to sign Kyrie?
It'd be
he thought he was going to give up $30 million to play for 10? He's not doing that.
So, Suge, that's my point. If he really wanted to make that shit happen, all that shit would have been moved around. They would have figured a way to make it happen. That's the whole point.
All it was supposed to be, Greg. It was supposed to be the second first-round pick in 29, and they just said now they give it to him. That's way after. That's fucking.
But
he
that's
opted
something
in.
that
That's
can't
way
even
later.
Because that's the shit
that's what I'm telling you. It has no control over it.
Just because Brian Windhurst and all them dudes put those reports out there for us to do this shit that we're doing right now, I ain't going on that until I seen that trade actually happen. I ain't see that trade happening, so I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go off before that, which is Kevin Love being an all-star. Yes, Kevin Love was a 3-time all-star in Minnesota before he came to Cleveland. He had to sacrifice his game to help to the benefit of what was best for Cleveland, which was get the ball to LeBron and let him dictate what's going on. Again, LeBron is the best offensive player in the game at that moment. He is the most vocal person in the league. I'm not taking nothing away from LeBron, but don't ever say that, oh, well, Kevin Love wasn't the same Kevin Love when he came to Cleveland, because that shit wasn't true. You got to fit in to play with LeBron James. And even in the retrospect of the Lakers right now, Anthony Davis got to fit in to play with LeBron James, because Anthony Davis don't go to the basket and play in the post. He do a whole lot of catching and shooting. And what everybody said a year when they was the 7th seed, he's shooting the worst that he's shot ever in the league.
Right.
Why? Because he ain't no goddamn 3-point shooter. He a mid-range dude that get dunks and lobs in mid-ranges. But he got to be a stretch court guy, because LeBron guy had a spacing to create, to get his, to then give it to everybody else.
You mentioned that, Greg, but he averaged 20. He averaged 26 more than LeBron, actually. So
what, in the year that
Braun averaged 20, like 24, 25. He averaged 26, 27, like 26 and a half.
Is that the year LeBron led in assists?
That's the year they won it. Yeah, that's the year. That's the year they did. He won.
Again,
so all I'm saying is AD didn't really have to play down to win. And even if you're talking about down, let's not talk points. Let's talk rebounds. What does that got to do with rebounds?
No, you say he played different. You're not listening.
Played down. I said the fit.
He had to play a different game.
That you got to play your game.
You got to play a different game.
You can't.
But he wasn't playing. I'm telling you, he wasn't playing a different game. AD was shooting threes, step back mid ranges, posting up, getting lobs. He's doing the same exact thing he did.
Right, bro. That's what
he's just hurt.
You missing what I'm getting at, though.
No, I literally understand what you're saying, but what you trying to say is they have to play a different way. But I'm saying AD did not have to play a different way. What different way?
So
is he playing? He's not.
So you saying with AD? So you saying when AD was in New Orleans, This nigga was shooting threes and not posting up. That's what you're saying? And bringing the ball on the court. So
he posts up in LA.
No, he don't.
He does
He
post
don't
up in LA. What are you like?
He
This
don't
is what
post
I'm
up in
saying, bro. You just said
He don't post up in LA.
He got go on his YouTube, bro. Most of his videos is him spinning, dunking off niggas in lobs.
One highlight
No,
doesn't
no.
concern
We're talking about a whole video, man. And you can go see it from this year.
Come on, yo. That's crazy. That's the problem with y'all youth. Y'all think one play makes like, oh, this nigga's amazing because he do one play. AD has shot the most threes and jump shots of his career since he became a Laker. That shit's right there. That shit's right there.
You talking about one video? I just said he has a whole garage.
Listen to what I just said. AD has shot the most threes in his career when he became a Laker.
Why is that Bron's fault? He wasn't sitting in the corner taking those threes all the time.
He's shooting the threes because he has the space to fall for Bron. Not listening?
The man is shooting more threes and being away from the basket, which in my opinion has never been a 7-footer strength outside of Kevin Durant. If you're sitting there and you are a big man that's used to catching lobs and doing all your work in the post, and now when you come to another team, when the 3 years that you played with the Lakers, you have shot more threes. He attempted 4 threes in his first year with the Lakers, 3 in the next year, and 2 this past season. He's shooting more threes. And I know why.
Hold up. Say it again.
He's shooting more threes. He's attempting more.
The first year?
The first year he averaged 4 threes a game.
Oh, okay. And the second year he
averaged 3. And then the
third year he averaged 2.
And the last year he averaged 2.
So it went down shooting threes, but he's shooting more threes.
Right.
Like y'all don't
because
even
sound right.
He didn't play a lot of games to get his average up. Like you said, he hurt.
You
say he hurt, right?
He hurt. But we want to give him the hurt excuse now. You see what I'm saying? When it's against No. I said he's been hurt. You can't say he changed his game. He's always been doing that.
Okay.
No, he hasn't.
AD has always been doing that. He attempted threes in fucking New Orleans. What are we talking about?
I never said he didn't attempt threes in New Orleans.
You acting like he attempted 1 3. He attempted more than 1 3 a game. If he averaged 2 in New Orleans and 2 now, how is that? He shoot more threes.
LeBron.
How many games did he play?
LeBron and AD.
Why does that matter? You told me that didn't matter, right? It don't matter.
All time.
It does matter.
One of the most dangerous pick and roll duos of all time.
I get it, bro. Y'all making excuses for what y'all want to do. That's
what's the main point here? What's the main point of this?
I really believe Jordan is like. Listen, I really believe Jordan is the best basketball player to ever play basketball. That's just plain and simple. But the shit y'all go through to prove that, and the shit y'all say, that just throw me off and make me not like the guy.
You should listen to yourself,
bro.
You should listen to yourself.
Listen to yourself. The man said he went from 4 3 to 2 and said he shot more threes. How is that possible? How is that possible that I say you shot your first year 4 3s, so he went down and you saying he's not posting up more? So what is he doing?
He's not posting up more. He's shooting more jump shots. That's what I'm getting at, Shug. It's not all just threes. If you'd have let me finish where I was going at. If you look at where he's shooting the ball from and getting his attempts, it's away from the basket because that does not.
Okay, so where is he getting those? Where is he getting those looks, Greg? When he get the ball, where is he at? He's doing what with the ball when he shoots those other shots?
Wait a minute, because you trying to still do your narrative talking. I'm going right where we going at. I never said that LeBron won't get you an open shot on where you're going to be at on the court.
No, I ain't talking about that. You talking about something way off.
That's what he's getting it at, yo, Shug. He's not being anywhere around the basket right now. A lot of his
hold up. So he's shooting it mid ranges, is what I'm saying, right? He's shooting mid ranges. You saying on his mid range attempts that it's Braun driving and just kicking it out to him, or is it he getting the ball, posting up, turning, and shooting? You can't blame Braun that he gets the ball in the post, turns and shoots. That's on AD. That's what I said. Like, you can't say, oh, that's just because you got to go with Braun. When he first was in LA getting the lobs, he played with Braun. He was catching lobs and shooting threes. He hit the 3 over Jokic. He hit threes against the Clippers. He hit threes in the other series. I'm just saying, bro. We trying to take narratives. I love Jordan, bro. But the shit y'all say to say one is bad, bro, it's just it make me hate him, bro.
But nobody ever.
I've never heard a nigga take less threes, and now it's about he take jump shots. Is it threes or jump shots? Y'all never
So
said
the
jump shot.
debate, so the
A jump
debate
shot is a three.
It's the GOAT.
Oh my
So the-
God, bro. A jump shot
Jump
is a
shot
three.
is
Now
a
go ahead,
three.
Mike. I can't talk to
Yeah,
you,
a
bro.
jump shot is a three. It's not a fucking
Can't talk
layup.
to you, bro.
Is it? Is it
Jump shot,
live?
you
Is
can
it
see the
layup?
mid range
Jump
and it
shot
don't
is
be a
three.
three, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
A jump shot, and a 3-point shot is the same fucking thing. It's a jump
Okay.
shot.
Look, I'm
Okay.
not gonna go too deep in
Like,
analytics.
you see what I'm saying? The Jordan fans. Just be saying anything.
Actually,
I
I'm
see why
not.
you wanted to
Not
stay
a
quiet.
Jordan
I see
fan.
why you wanted to stay quiet, bro.
I'm not
I see
gonna
why
get
you
too
wanted to
deep
stay quiet.
on
I got
Actually,
it.
I'm not a Jordan
I ain't
fan.
arguing with you, yo. I'm
That's
talking
the best
realistic
part.
shit, Greg.
That's the
Like
best.
real
You're
shit.
not
I
talking
come in
shit
and talking
realistic.
realistic.
You're not really talking shit realistic.
Listen, all
Your
I'm saying is
narrative is
I
to
give
make
the same
Braun
excuse that
look
y'all
like he's
give
not the
Jordan, and all
issue.
of a sudden
Your
it don't
issue is
work
to
for
make
LeBron.
Braun don't look like
What are you
Braun's the
talking about?
problem. That's what your issue is. Your narrative to make Braun like it's not Braun's fault. I'm not a Jordan fan.
So what
And
was KG and Ray Allen before LeBron? When he was in Cleveland, what did they do in Boston? Nobody said KG is a piece of shit for going to get that ring in Boston. Nobody said Ray Allen's a piece of shit for going to get that shit in Boston. All of a sudden, they got together and did it. Then all of a sudden, Ray Allen was old and shit. They got together, still won, but he's seen LeBron legacy 2 years later. I like it. Y'all just don't make sense, bro.
What are you talking about? What you
Bro, he
got
was
to
in
do with
Cleveland
LeBron?
with Mo
Because
Williams, Delonte West, Jamario
flipping
Moon,
too much
JJ
on the
Dixon. Like,
emotional
listen to the
side.
guys he was with, bro.
Where the Boston got to do with what we talking about?
Because listen what I'm saying. Y'all talking about talents and who he had to go to, but listen what they had to bring together to stop this nigga. He is the one that ended the Pistons. That was in the finals.
Okay.
He was the
What
one that, huh?
But he still lost.
Don't agree? You don't agree?
He still lost though.
Hold on.
He ended the Pistons and lost. He ended the Pistons and lost. Mike ended the Pistons and won.
That's when he played the Spurs, bro. Like, I can't help when you play against. That's what Greg said.
I don't give a fuck who you play. Mike
played better team. Greg said that his team led to the finals. Greg already acknowledged that him and AI.
Mike played the Lakers. Mike played the
Lakers.
Lakers.
Start doing. Hey, look. This
with no Kareem, Mike. With no Kareem.
If we gonna continue to
good job.
I don't give a fuck who's there. They won a championship without Kareem, didn't they? Didn't Magic shoot the hook shot without Kareem?
Mike, no, they did not.
One game. You talking about one game and one highlight.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
You see what I'm saying?
Didn't he win the Finals MVP? Didn't Magic win the Finals MVP?
Didn't
Magic win the Finals MVP?
I can't talk to Mike.
What are you talking about?
Hold on, watch this. Let me put this out here because we all talking over each other and we can't understand or hear each other.
Some shit you just can't listen to.
I understand.
They get to a point where some shit you can't listen to.
You told me I can't bring up one highlight, but you bring up one highlight and say it. The shit I say is crazy.
Some shit you just can't listen to.
Suge,
I can't listen to the bullshit you talking about.
I like what you just said, Suge, about him ending the Pistons and they went to the finals. Yes, the Pistons, they beat the Pistons. However, they lost to a dynasty Spurs. When Jordan beat the Pistons, they beat the dynasty Lakers in 1991.
No, so they did not beat the dynasty Lakers because it was Hold up,
Suge. Because the dynasty Spurs in 2007, that's who the Cavaliers lost to, right? The Lakers were the favorites in 91 to beat the Bulls without Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What does the favorites mean, Mike? You got to go play. It's not the dynasty Lakers.
Listen,
I didn't even
say dynasty
because you can't just because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wasn't there, you're gonna try to knock that, and you can't because Magic Johnson just finished winning.
Wasn't there
again.
Don't matter.
Can I finish my point? The point is, I'm going off of what you literally just said about LeBron beating the championship Pistons and then losing to a dynasty. Jordan went and beat the championship Pistons and then beat the other dynasty that was right there in front of him. If you go and you beat the dynasties, that makes you great. And that's where a lot of people start looking at it. You tried to find the narrative earlier in the podcast.
Compare the Pistons to the Spurs dynasty. That's not at
all
what I said.
The Lakers won 5 championships in the 80s. They were coming off of that. They were literally just coming off of that.
With who, Greg? With who?
With Magic. Watch this. With who? I'm about to tell you with who. With Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Brian Scott.
Harris Scott.
Yeah, that was a showtime.
Hold on. You bring up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar like it's just he laughed. Like you haven't talking about Byron Scott and all that before you bring up Kareem. Don't make it seem like Kareem wasn't there as one of the best players on the team.
Watch this though, because I'm going off of what you literally just finished saying earlier in the podcast, and I love how you said, "I'm gonna get you with this statement, and I'm gonna come back with this." You literally just said that sometimes great role players make great teams. That's what the Lakers were. All those guys mattered, and they went to the finals.
Why do you keep saying I said that? I did not say that.
When you
I
go
said
back
sometimes when you got talent on your team, that's cool, but chemistry matters. I never mentioned none of that. I mentioned chemistry.
So, bro, that's the chemistry right
there. You can't say chemistry and
James
there's no
Harden,
Kareem.
right?
You can't say chemistry and there's no Kareem. That's a player gone.
They
Then
went
it's one
to
of your
the
best
finals,
players
bro.
gone. It don't matter where they went. They lost. They didn't have him. So don't say they beat a
So you're
dynasty.
gonna
The Showtime Lakers, they did not beat them.
So
with
you know what
Kareem.
you don't. You know what you just did. You know what you just did. You just
Absolutely
discredited.
nothing.
You just literally just discredited the 1991 Los Angeles Lakers, who were.
Well, don't y'all discredit the 2011 Miami Heat?
And that's one thing we're gonna stop.
What the fuck are you
talking
about? Now we credit losers.
Wait a minute.
Now we credit the losers.
That's one thing we're gonna stop when we come on BSN's Present.
Now
because when we on
credit
BSN Presents, we don't discredit no championships and no dynasties. That's something that we don't do. That's something that we don't do. And when I say we,
so what are we
this is the panel. I'm not discrediting anything that any champion has done. What I'm saying to you is, you literally are trying to find a way to keep on praising any and everything that happens on LeBron's side. I'm saying he get credit for everything. I literally just said
never mentioned LeBron when I said Kareem wasn't there, bro.
I literally just said he got credit for not only taking the 07 Cavaliers, who I thought was the worst roster ever, to the finals. I literally just said he got credit for taking the 18 Cavaliers to the finals because LeBron is great. But to sit there and try to discredit the Los Angeles Lakers, who won 5 championships and went to 9 finals, is crazy to me.
To say that team is the same dynasty team as the one that won the 5 championships is what you literally said. Both of you and Mike.
I said they just beat one.
Teams.
They beat one dynasty to go and then beat another dynasty. That's what I said.
Didn't beat a dynasty if Kareem ain't there. What are you talking about? That's not the same.
So it's still, if they got to the finals,
that's not the same group. That's like saying, oh, LeBron got there, but KD was like, you can't do that. Kareem wasn't there. That wasn't the team that won the 5 chips. Now hold up, because they the ones that said you grab in '96, you grabbed 2 guys and flipped all that. No, we're not doing that. And that year, they did not have Kareem. And they lost. Even though they made the finals. What are you talking about?
Look, it should. So do it count that they beat the Detroit Pistons, who was coming out the championship? Does that part count?
Yes, he already said that count more.
You talking about Mike?
Hold up. Does it count that Michael Jordan? Hold up. Does it count that Michael Jordan beat the team that just won the championship the year before? Does that part count?
Yeah, it counts to an extent if the team the same. Like if they got the same roster. Yeah, hell yeah. I believe.
All right, okay, cool.
I'm saying it do, but I don't think that goes for every case.
Let me finish. Sure, let me finish, because you like to hear yourself talk. Let me finish. So it count to a certain extent that they beat the team that just won the championship. That's a certain extent.
Won 1 championship, won 2 straight championships.
But it doesn't count that they just beat the Lakers team that just was in the finals the year before as well. That doesn't count. That doesn't count because Kareem wasn't there, right? Kareem was there when he lost to the Pistons.
That's a little ass part. That's a big part of the Lakers, man.
No. I'm just asking a question.
They still got to the finals without him, yo. That's why it's still a part of a dynasty.
Listen,
they still
Boston
made a championship,
beat the Bucks, and then Middleton was gone, right?
Of a championship.
Boston beat the Bucks, and Middleton was gone.
It did.
Boston beat the Bucks, and Middleton was gone.
Oh.
So what did you like? What saying? I'm saying the Bucks won the championship.
The Bucks on the dynasty. Why are we talking about the Bucks? The Bucks on the dynasty.
Exactly.
Hold on.
No, I'm talking about credit towards beating a team. I'm talking about different,
hold up.
Like different reasons.
We have to define what a dynasty is first. Dynasty is a sustained amount of excellence over a period of time. Excellence is getting to the championship. Excellence is getting to the championship. So no matter who was on that team still got to the championship over an extended period of time. So no matter if Kareem was there, if he wasn't there, the Lakers made the championship.
Okay.
So whoever got there, whether it was the middle of a dynasty, they still got to the championship. So yes, it was the end of the dynasty, but nevertheless, still a dynasty is what is the point we keep getting stuck on.
What you said your name was?
Sure, nigga, it's Dev, yo.
Huh?
It's Dev, yo.
Oh, my fault, bro. I ain't got the camera on. But listen, hey, Dad, I get what you're saying.
Yo, I was about to discredit you, Dad, before you said your name. You was about to get discredited before you said your name.
No, hell no. Because he was he was making a point for real.
Yeah.
He was making a point.
I just said that like 3 times though.
But I'm not saying that. I'm asking Dave, do that go for LeBron too? So the Cleveland Cavaliers is a dynasty.
Yes, it does.
No, the Cavaliers, because they are
the Cavaliers is not a dynasty.
They're not a dynasty. It wasn't sustained excellence. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, it was. My bad. No. It was kind of because there wasn't a lot of winning.
How many years before 91? How many years before 91 did the Lakers go to the championship? You said it was 9. How many they got?
9.
And how many they won?
Okay.
They won 5.
But that's a dynasty.
So because they went 9 or because they won 5 or both of them matter?
It's because they
it's because they won 5. It's because they won 5. Because the Bills
are the Warriors is not
the Bills on a dynasty. And they've been to the championship 3 times in a row and lost 3 times in a row. The Bills aren't a dynasty. They're a great team in the past, but they aren't a dynasty.
They went 4 times, Dave. They went 4 times.
And they lost all of them.
Now watch this. Hold up. I'm gonna go on some baseball shit. The Atlanta Braves went to the World Series 4 times in 5 years. But they won. They won one. And you know what they call them? They call them the Brave Dynasty. They call them a dynasty because the teams that they lost to, the Toronto Blue Jays, 1, 2.
I forgot I told you. Come on.
then they lost to the Yankees, who won 2. It's just that those guys were just better than them.
And when they didn't have Kareem, they lost. So why are we calling them a dynasty? They weren't a dynasty.
They lost with Kareem too, though.
Okay, but they also won more with Kareem. With Kareem on the team. Kareem without a team. Hold on. Hey, Greg, I'm not discrediting him. You trying to say that because you just don't want to hear what I'm saying. I'm asking you was the 91 Lakers the same as the Showtime Lakers?
Forget the Lakers.
Was they the same team as the Showtime Lakers? That's all I'm asking.
Forget the Lakers, Suge.
Forget the Lakers. Why?
You know why? Because you said it. I'm going off what Mike just said. You just said that LeBron got credit because he knocked off the Pistons, who, mind you, did not win the championship.
I didn't listen to it. I never said LeBron got credit for it. I said what he did. I just named facts.
Let me finish. You just said that about LeBron in 07, how they knocked off the Pistons, who were dominating the Eastern Conference, and then lost to the Dynasty. But then Jordan just beat the actual champions who won the title 2 years in a row. And then you said, oh, that's to an extent. How is it to an extent if Jordan?
No. Mike asked me. If you beat the team that won the championship before, does that mean you're great? And I'm saying to an extent. And then I used the Boston Bucks shit because I said if Boston beat Milwaukee, but they didn't have Middleton, so I don't give that the same credit as I do if they would have. But
Milwaukee wasn't a dynasty.
I'm not saying it don't matter about a dynasty. But wait a minute. But the year before, this is all we was talking about. Was who won the chip the year before? I said that don't give a team. No, because you said that makes me give him credit. I said that's not what I'm saying. That gives him credit. I just named what LeBron did. I never said just because he beat the team that won a championship the year before or years before.
But I just named. Watch this though, Shug. This is, and I'm trying to get off of this one because it's really weird to me because. Jordan I'm literally just sitting there saying Jordan just beat the Detroit Pistons, who just won 2 straight championships and came back with the exact same team. They were the dynasty. And
I gave him credit.
But you just
No. I said to an extent with the question you asked. I don't believe with any team that if you beat a team that won the championship, that means that you are great. That don't mean that because I think Boston beat Milwaukee.
LeBron in 07 beating the Pistons made them great. They just lost
listen to what I'm saying. They had their full team. They were there and he beat them. Jordan, they had their full team. I'm agreeing with y'all. Jordan had their full team. He beat them. But I don't necessarily think Tatum would be the same way because he beat Milwaukee this year. No, because they didn't have Chris Middleton. And I believe that. I don't believe Boston is where they at.
I agree with that, but remember,
so I'm not saying Jordan don't get no credit for that.
I'm trying to keep it on the 07 Cavaliers in the 91 Bulls. Forget Tatum and the Bucks. I understand that. Nobody was hurt in 07 for the Cavaliers or the Pistons. Same with the daggone Spurs. Those teams were loaded and they were healthy. When I say loaded, I'm only talking about being healthy. You just sat here and tried to give more credit to LeBron for his 07 victory over a team that did not win the championship, and then turned around and said that that Jordan was discredited because he beat a team that was a dynasty. I'm confused. I'm confused like shit because I'm like, yo, they just beat the champs. And then you said,
y'all said I'm just bringing up the Pistons. You cut me off to ask a question. That's not the only thing I was going to bring up. It wasn't just about that. I wasn't giving nobody more credit. I'm just saying what he did. So I'm saying like he beat the Pistons, and then what I was going to was saying that when he beat the Pistons and he ran the East that year, what did Boston do? They created a dynasty. Well, y'all wouldn't call it a dynasty. They created that group, that big three group, to beat LeBron. And that's what they was doing. That's why KG talked to this day and say, we broke LeBron. But the Bron he was talking about is not the same Bron that was in Miami. So I'm saying when he left and went Miami, that's why. He had no players like that coming down there at the time. He had to go against Boston. And even if he beat them, he had to see the Spurs or the Lakers, who had better teams than him. So all I'm saying is when he stacked the odds back and that shit passed, all of a sudden it's a talent problem and we get too much on them. But where was that for the Celtics is what I'm saying.
Right in front of you.
Time out, Shug. Real quick. This Miami, we talking about the Miami and Bron team, right? Now we're on a different team now. I want to make sure I'm on the right. We're on the Miami team, right?
You saying that?
No. We're talking about the LeBron Miami team now, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, cool. This is the same fucking team that went to the finals 4 times, right? In a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
And lost 2 in a row, right?
Yep. No.
Well, not lost 2 in a row, but lost 2
out
right?
of the 4. Yeah.
All right. And earlier you said it's because they didn't have chemistry. That's why they lost to Dirt in them the first year, right? Because this shit on film. I just want to make sure I'm hearing you right.
I didn't
you
say
said the
that's
reason
why they lost. I said sometimes chemistry matters. I didn't say because the Heat didn't have it. I'm just saying the Mavericks' chemistry was stronger.
The Mavericks
I'm saying their chemistry was stronger. I'm not saying that the Miami Heat didn't have chemistry. I'm saying the Mavericks' chemistry was better. That's all I said. Okay. Y'all putting words in my mouth, bro.
Okay, cool.
So
that's
no, great. No, great. I got him this time. So the year that y'all beat y'all beat San Antonio, right? The year that y'all beat San Antonio when Chris Bosh, the sorry motherfucker who couldn't play no more, smacked the ball out. The Ray Allen hit the 3, right? When they turned around and played the same team the next year with older players. Remember, the Spurs was an older team. What was the difference then?
There was no difference.
No, it was a difference. They lost. I'm saying
there's no difference in between the teams. They just lost.
Okay. All right. So it's no discredit.
But you trying to discredit LeBron. I'm not discrediting LeBron.
Where am I discrediting LeBron?
When Tim Duncan could have been.
I'm talking about Miami.
Miami as a group. I'm saying I'm not discrediting
I didn't say shit about LeBron. I said Miami. I said Miami.
I'm not discrediting Miami at all for losing to the Spurs. Okay. The Spurs is a dynasty that we talk of.
But you know what? Hold on.
Do you know the Spurs have never won 2 in a row?
I gotta intervene, bro. I gotta intervene.
Oh, so now the criteria is 2 in a row.
No,
I'm actually. Do you know the Spurs have
help me out with the criteria? Because if it's changing as we go, then let me know.
Because he's gonna listen to you, Dave. Because I know where you're going. Go, Dave. Go.
No. The Spurs are a dynasty. That's without question. We can't because even though it was on and off, they did it more than they won more than they lost. Right. Plain simple period. So that we
without LeBron lost in 2013, they would be 6-0. That's all
arguing.
So he would be
what I'm saying is we're arguing a lot of schematics. I'm trying to get back to the main point so I can join in and contribute so we can move the conversation forward.
And that's why I'm trying to get off of this because we going into team dissection.
No, hey Dev, jump right in and we out of this shit now. Well, we out of it. Dev, jump in and say what you trying to get to.
What?
Yeah,
I don't know. I just jumped on because the game was on.
I'm about to present it to you right now, Dave.
Thank you.
The argument is this: who is the GOAT between LeBron and Michael Jordan? And what is your criteria? Wait a minute. and what is your criteria on ranking your GOAT?
Okay, so if we're going GOAT conversation, I am Team Jordan on this. I can be swayed because LeBron is, to me, the GOAT is three people. It can be three people.
Right.
It can be Jordan, it can be LeBron, it can be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's it.
There you go, Dad.
That's the conversation.
Hold on. Can I stop you right there, Dave? Can I stop you right there?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just for the record, I'm gonna hear y'all. The rest of y'all agree with that?
Yes.
That's the three.
Do everybody else agree with that?
We get a strong case for Magic, and that's about it.
I agree.
That's my
I'm just
Mount
making
Rushmore.
sure everybody agree for real.
Yeah, that's the four for me. I really don't want to hear no conversation for nobody else. And
So
God
you
bless
got
the dead. I don't
Kareem
want to hear
as one
no
of the
conversation.
GOATs. You got
Those four are the
Kareem
GOATs.
as one of the GOATs. Do you believe that 91 team?
See, and that to me is an issue right there. There aren't G.O.A.T. S's. It's GOAT. It's GOAT. So if we're talking the greatest of all time, it can only be these four dudes. That's Magic, Michael, Kareem, LeBron. That's it. Those are the people who have the accolades. Those are the people who have the stats to go with it. Those are the people who got the hardware to go along with it, the rings I'm talking about. And that's it.
I like how you added Magic. I got you. So what's your So Jordan is the GOAT, then is what you're saying, right?
He said he can be swayed.
I'm saying that.
No, I know, but I was just making sure we got both.
I said no, because what I said was I believe Jordan to be the GOAT, but I can be swayed in that conversation by Magic, Kareem, or LeBron.
Right.
Those are the people I'm willing to entertain a debate with. Don't bring no Kobe shit to me. Don't bring me no Larry Bird. Don't bring me no Will Chamberlain. Don't bring me no Bill Russell. You can't put those people in this conversation with me. Those are your GOATs. Those are your people who can have the conversation. But to me, it's Mike. Because when we talk about all of those things, when we talk about the hardware, we talk about the championships, when we talk about the stats, when we talk about all of that shit, when it boils down to is Mike checks all those boxes.
Hmm.
When we talk about the shit that matters, the defensive players of the year, the MVPs, the scoring titles, the steals, the championships, who else checks those boxes besides Magic, Michael, Kareem, and LeBron? That's it. And to me, if you go to the championship and you don't ever fucking lose, that's the guy. I don't care how many times you got there. It's about how many times you won.
I agree with that.
I don't care how many times you got. We don't talk about the Buffalo Bills. We don't talk about all the teams that UCLA beat on the way to the championship. I give a fuck who lost.
Hey, Dev, what's one of my favorite sayings? Who the fuck is number two?
Yeah,
don't I say all the time? Who the fuck is number two?
Who cares? Who cares?
Right. So when I say that now, when I say that, nigga, the fucking 91 Lakers is getting disrespected. We need to worry about. Like, this is what I said that, Dad. We're cheering now, but I said this already.
But you missed the whole thing though.
I said this already,
and you still trying to go back onto that. What I was saying was, and agree with Dad, they won though. They won. And that was with the other, and that was with the
other. But you don't gotta do extra, is all I'm saying.
That was with the other GOAT that we was talking about. That was with the other GOAT that Dev just finished talking about. They were the dynasty. But I'm
saying like, yo, like
because
we can
that was the other two GOAT that you was talking about because you knocked them.
That's what I'm saying.
Dev,
and
how many championships does Magic have without Kareem?
He can't control who's on his team. The nigga goddamn, he had a big.
I'm just asking a simple question.
I can't.
He's got none.
He don't have none. None.
I thought he did. My fault.
No, he ain't got none without Kareem. I don't
think.
Kareem
had one without Magic.
Yeah,
Kareem had one without Magic.
Yeah, I know.
Kareem had one.
I knew Magic didn't have any, but you're just not making.
When you say that, because when you say shit like that, it's like, yo, how many championships do
Klay Thompson
Mike got without?
No, because I ain't gonna let you. Wait a minute, y'all.
How many do we got?
Let's talk turkey. Slide with that. I'm not gonna let you slide with that. And the reason why is this: because I still to this day, Kareem got his one ring without Magic, right? But he wouldn't have had them other five unless Magic Johnson walked in there with that gold jersey on.
And and I agree. So you do agree that Magic wouldn't have that 5 without
you
Kareem?
Trying to discredit another guy, but when another guy said he was getting ready to quit basketball in 1980 because it wasn't fun for him no more, and I'm talking about Kareem. He was getting ready to quit until that kid walked in the door at 20 years old and changed the whole franchise around.
And what did Magic Johnson do with his coach?
Oh, he got his coach up out of there, and they changed.
And he threatened them to do what? And he threatened them to do what? So you're just saying Magic did the same thing, man.
What we saying here is that was okay. So you made that point. You asked me that question about how many championships does Magic have about Kareem, right? Because that goes in the favor of LeBron winning championships with multiple different people. I'm trying to figure out why.
No. I'm not. No. I'm literally asking that because y'all literally made my point for me after I mentioned it. When I say certain shit a certain way, y'all think I'm disrespecting them.
So I'm trying to figure out
y'all really get to my point. My point was,
okay, so
when we think of Magic, we think of Kareem. When we think of
Kareem,
Kareem, we think of Magic. I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying, like, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not talking about as far as individual talent. I'm talking about as far as they winning shit. Like, I ain't talking about the regular season MVPs. I'm talking about when it comes to finals and all that. They both needed each other just as much. Do you agree?
Oh, to an extent.
Okay, so what's an extent?
To an extent, because
I understand Magic was always going to be big old championship, but that
Magic was always going to be Magic, and Kareem was always going to be Kareem.
But would their championships resonate the same? Is what I'm asking.
What do you
do you believe? We can't really talk. We can't really say what it is. But do you believe if Kareem stayed with Milwaukee, do you think he would have had the same six championships?
Yes, if he was playing with Oscar Robertson. If he was playing with Oscar Robertson, who was a highly capable point guard, yes.
I'm gonna say no because Oscar Robertson.
Okay, well I disagree with that.
He was retiring, but
he was retiring. Okay,
but sure. What I'm saying is, I'm saying, Magic was a trendsetter. He changed the way basketball was played as a big guard, right?
Exactly.
So you can put them two together and say they wouldn't one without you, but Magic changed the game just as well as Kareem changed the game. It's two game changers. They two games. They stopped.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, go ahead.
From dunking.
Let me jump in real quick.
You know that?
You said what?
They stopped Kareem from dunking because he was so dominant.
Yeah,
so
I know. Point. But Magic is so great, yo, that when honestly and truly, when you think about Magic, I think about Bird and that rivalry. I don't think about Kareem. I think about Kareem as one of his teammates. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time, but Kareem wasn't the best leader. Magic was a leader.
That's not
because Kareem did so much winning in his career and he did a major part of it, that you have to put him in that conversation as one of the GOATs. Because no, he wouldn't have won without a great point guard because he's a big thrives on having solid guard play. And that's why he's in the GOAT conversation, but he can't be the GOAT for me because he was dependent on somebody else getting him the ball. You get what I'm saying?
So that don't go for Magic because he's the one with the ball. So don't say he needed somebody to get the ball too. Don't matter.
No, he's a point guard. Of course, Jordan had to have.
So I'm saying, how about this? Who he was getting it to didn't matter.
Who? Magic was what I'm saying.
So when there was a difference when. So when
it was showtime,
listen, bro. I'm not saying they're not good enough to get there or any of this, bro. I'm just clearly saying that when they didn't have Kareem, they were not the same as they was with Kareem. It's not the same team because Kareem ain't there. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's not the same team, but it's still a dynasty. It's still a dynasty.
That's what we got hung up on. Their dynasty has Kareem in it.
You know why? You know why I say I can't agree with that, Shug? Because I just watched the team that just won the championship this year do it two different ways. I literally watched Golden State go through a whole draft with guys.
Right, Joe. Right. Exactly.
And then they won a championship. Then they lost a title. And then after that, they said, yo, let's go get another superstar and win with this big three-headed monster of KD, Clay, and Chef. And then they gut the whole team out because of injuries and free agency moves. They go back and rebuild through the draft. And then they do it again a whole nother way. They won a championship three different ways, and they are still.
That's a dynasty. That's a dynasty.
You can't,
I'm not disagreeing with them.
sit there and discredit, and that's what I meant by you discrediting a dynasty because
So you think this last year's team is the same as the one with Kevin Durant? That's what you think?
Negative. I think
no, but it's a part
hold
of
on.
sustained
But you're
excellence.
making my point. The team
No,
without
it's a part
Kevin
of
Durant,
sustained excellence.
Okay, but listen, but the team without Kevin Durant, they did what?
Sure, hold on. Here we go. Let's bring
They
it
won
on
the
together.
The team
championship
without Kevin Durant this year
They won
just
the championship
won
without
the
Kevin Durant.
championship. They didn't lose the
though.
championship. They won.
This is what we saying. This is
You're
what we
making my
saying,
point.
Shug. We say
No,
no.
not
What we
because
saying
they
is
lost
this.
the championship
It's
with
this.
Kevin Durant
Right.
as well.
Yo, the only difference between the Lakers dynasty and the Warriors dynasty is Michael fucking Jordan. That's what we're saying. We're saying that the Lakers got to the championship because they were fucking great. They just got stopped by somebody who was fucking greater. And that's why Mike is my GOAT. Because yes, it was a dynasty. They changed.
They won the same team.
They were so good.
Can I ask you this question real quick? Remember the other day when we was talking about the what ifs and then if that butterfly
effect. Right.
What if Michael Jordan loses in 91?
Then we're not having this conversation.
You know what the
I still would think he's up there.
You know what this
Being honest
conversation
with
would be? This is the exact conversation that we would be saying. Magic Johnson
versus
the
LeBron,
greatest basketball player of all time. Because the one thing we would say is this: Magic got 6 rings and he won 1 without Kareem. After Kareem retired, and he did it with the same guys that came in after they got Magic. So that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
So
and this is why
Kareem, he got to the finals once and did what?
And they got to the finals
and they got ended. They got ended, nigga.
They're not even that they got injured. Their best player retired because he had a health issue.
No, I didn't say they got. I didn't say they got injured. I said they got ended.
Yeah, they got injured.
It's okay.
Yeah, like Jordan,
we can't play
Jordan
this
split
game
that up, right?
Yeah, because when they looked at it, they said,
"Okay,
what if
game?
We
got
got
this Magic shit." You're making my points, bro. Y'all always just talking to the same stuff.
What's your point, though?
Yo,
I don't know what you're
listen. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing that Jordan beat a good Lakers team, a great Lakers team, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But to say, that same team is the same. That's part of that same dynasty when they lost with that team without Kareem and didn't go back to the finals, didn't do anything else after that. I'm trying to figure out when did that team without Kareem become the dynasty? Because we're not talking about one team.
It's like this. It's like this. It's like, yo.
And that's the case. The Phoenix Suns is a dynasty because they got up there and lost with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They lost that shit. It was a great team.
You still doing it.
No.
Still doing
it. Never won.
Still doing it.
It's the same thing.
No, it's
not.
No, it's not. Because the one thing that's way different.
I get it. They don't have the championship that the Lakers got, but we're talking about Kareem and Magic, bro.
But that's just like saying that with the Golden State Warriors that lost to the Toronto Raptors. They were a great team. They was a great team.
Kevin Durant literally played 11 minutes.
But look at what you're doing.
That finals game.
So now watch this. And I hate to go off the top because that's what we're going at. You just said Kevin Durant got hurt. So don't that make it look like Kevin Durant was the reason that Golden State was winning? If you say that, you see how I just did that? That's the same thing you doing right now.
They were.
No, they were not. Oh my God. Okay.
They don't. Yo, they won a championship without Kevin Durant. You keep forgetting about that.
After they got more what? After y'all said they did what? They went and did what after Kevin Durant? They went and did what after Kevin Durant?
They went
and did what? They rearranged the team. They got Andrew Wiggins. You acting like they said the same. So Andrew Wiggins lost in that Toronto series? He wasn't a part of that team. You're making my point.
It's not the same team. And what we're saying is, listen, what we're saying is after they won, after they switched it up and they won, that's what makes them a dynasty. That's what makes them a sustained dynasty.
And I'm telling you, after they switched it up, when Kareem left, they didn't do shit. So they're not a dynasty after Kareem. That's what I'm telling you.
What we're saying is what we're saying is they put out their best product and they realized that they couldn't beat this nigga unless they went and got younger and better. So he ended them. The Lakers aren't stupid. They saw that, okay, well, what Michael is doing, we on the tail end of what we've done. So we got to go retool. He ended these niggas. If they had won, that team would have stayed together.
Watch this. He ended the
They beat a
Detroit
good
Pistons.
team. I'm not disagreeing, bro. Why you're saying what I'm saying, but not hearing what I'm saying? I'm agreeing with all of that. So I put the Lakers right next to that 19 Warriors team. Kevin Durant wasn't there. I believe so. If Kevin Durant was there, that whole series, they would win. We would never know because he hurt. But what I'm saying is you can't say that Warriors team at that time, they had no Andrew Wiggins, no Jordan Poole. They had Sean Livingston. There's no Sean Livingston now. So whatever you want to mention, it's not the same team. So guess what? When they had the chance to win, they was in the 7th seed when it was just Steph and them. Oh, y'all gonna bring up the injuries now? Y'all gonna bring up the injuries now?
No. I'm gonna ask a legit question because this is what it sounds like. So if a 43-year-old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there in '91, you saying that they beat the Bulls?
Listen, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that because we would never know, but I'm just saying you don't have to be on. No, he beat the dynasty. He didn't beat the same team with Kareem. That's all I'm saying. He never beat Magic and Kareem.
All right,
niggas had to play Magic and Kareem. That's all I'm saying. Niggas was winning. They had to have Magic and Kareem. It was just Magic. It's not the same. It's like Braun and O.D. Wade.
Hold up. Hey, Greg, can I do this one? Can I do this one, please? Can I do this one, please?
Go ahead.
He beat the champions, though. Fuck the Lakers. Fuck the Lakers part. He beat the team that won the championship the year before. He ended them. Huh?
I give him credit for that.
Okay, so he ended both dynasties. He ended the team that lost in the championship, and he ended the team that won the championship 2 years in a row. The Lakers was there 2 years in a row. They was against Detroit, they lost, and it was against Mike, and they lost. Detroit won 2 in a row. Mike ended them. What'd you say?
The last one they lost with Kareem. And the 91, they lost without.
Yeah, they lost with Kareem. They lost with Kareem. Kareem got hurt the next year. They still went back to the championship and got out of it. But what Mike did, he beat the 2 teams that was in the finals. Those 4 years. Those 4 years. Mike outed all them motherfuckers. That's what you fussing about the Lakers, but fuck the Lakers. Fuck the Lakers. He beat the team. He beat the team that was the same team that won a championship.
Mike, but I gotta go to LeBron. I gotta go with LeBron, and I gotta go here. And I'm gonna ask a question. This is for Suge. Suge, do you consider the Miami Heat a dynasty with LeBron?
No.
Okay. Now, this kind of tells me that you don't consider the Detroit Pistons of 1989 and 90 a dynasty either, even though they both won back-to-back titles. So,
well, to y'all standards, y'all wouldn't consider them a dynasty. They only went to 2 finals appearances, right?
Who only went to 2 finals appearances? The Pistons went to 3 finals.
Well, 3? That's cool. 3. The Cavs went to 4. Dev said they won the dynasty. So that would mean the Pistons is not a dynasty.
That's why
you said the Cavs was a 4?
The Cavs went to 4.
I said the Cavs with LeBron went to 4, and they went to 1 without Kyrie Irving. And they played in 1 without Kyrie Irving.
The Cavs were a dynasty.
And Kevin Love.
They just lost to a better dynasty because they still won a championship in the process of their dynasty. But what I'm getting at is this, and I'm going to leave it here. You just finished talking about an old basketball team in the Lakers in 91 and how they didn't have a piece, right? I watched the old Spurs team in 2014 win a championship over a team, in my opinion, that was better talented than them. And they just won 2 straight titles. So to say that, to sit there and try to justify losses.
I never tried to justify that. He asked me, what do I think about it? I said they lost. It's no excuse. That's why I'm going back to it. Because you saying, well, they just lost. No, it's not that they just lost. But I'm not going to compare that to a Jordan conversation because I'm that's when you have to compare it. Man, I'm not comparing that. He lost to the Spurs. They can easily be where Jordan at right now.
That's 6-0 in the finals. But that's the problem we're having because we're trying to compare teams. I told y'all at the beginning of this shit, we got to talk about just the individual talent and what they do on the court. This is
exactly. So that's exactly why I said there's no excuses. That's why I said it's not justifying anything.
But this is where we were going at when you made a statement earlier about the competition of what each one has played. I didn't want to go there because I already knew where we was going to go down that rabbit hole. We got to go back to the individual talent based on what they do when the game is on the floor, when we watching the game. I've watched LeBron James shell up in big moments. Case in point, when in 2000 and I believe it was 2009, when the Celtics beat them. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, 2010 in Game 5 in Cleveland, when I watched LeBron James basically be the most passive I've ever seen him in a critical game, a tied up 2-2 series. The man didn't play well. What was the excuse though, Shug? You a LeBron fan. Tell me what was the excuse in 2010?
The excuse is he played. The excuse is he played the future Hall of Famers with Rondo and those guys.
No, it wasn't.
That's the excuse.
You know what the excuse was? Because this
that was the excuse. In 2010, you telling me they were better than Boston?
No, it wasn't that. I'm gonna tell you what the excuse was. The excuse in 2010 in Game 5 was LeBron James found out that Delonte West was fucking his mother. That was the excuse.
Yeah, that's cool.
And to me, if you great, you gotta block certain shit out.
So if you great, you gotta block that. Oh my God, bro.
When we talking basketball,
that's a different conversation.
Because
now,
this is what y'all bring up. This is the stuff
your teammate fucks your mother, bro. Is something you should be able to just play through. Like, also now, so why do you think this? You're making my point, Greg. If you got the feeling like I don't know if I would do it. No, I'm not. I never said that's the excuse. I said in 2010, from fuck 2010, in 2008, after he went on that run and beat the Pistons, is what I was getting at. I said the Celtics put that team together to beat him.
You do know that team that team was together in 2008. You said 2008.
I just said that. I said no. You're not listening. That's where
you mean. You meant 2007.
No, I said after 2007. I said after 2007 when Braun put the Pistons out. When he went on that run and went to the finals. I said after 2007, they put that team together, which means in 2008, I know what year they won a chip, bro.
Yes,
in 2008, they brung in Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. You cannot tell me that means Braun should have just beat them niggas. But then when y'all say Jordan should have, hold on. I'm not saying you, Greg, so you taking it. But when I'm saying other people, when I say Jordan should have beat the fucking Boston Celtics with Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Dennis Johnson and them, niggas say, oh, they Hall of Famers. He couldn't beat them. Well, why?
But you know why? This is why. Because he was playing with Dave Corzine, Orlando Woolrich, and a 43-year-old George Gervin. Are you kidding me? Like, if you're really going to say that Michael Jordan in 1986 was going to beat the Celtics, who might have been the best team of all time in 1986, with Dave Corzine, Orlando Woolrich, Charles Oakley, and goddamn 45-year-old George Gervin, you tripping. Because I wouldn't even think LeBron would do that.
Mo Williams, Sasha Pavlovich, and Anthony Parker is just that much greater.
Watch this though.
What the fuck,
this
man?
one
Come
thing
on, bro.
And I ain't say they should have beat the Celtics in 2008, but this is what I'm gonna say. Didn't that team had a second best record in the league?
What does that mean? It's regular season. Niggas say you're not talking regular season.
Jordan was a 37-45 team that went to the playoffs and lost to one of the best teams of all time. This is why
it don't matter about the teams, though. It don't matter about the teams.
It's why I didn't want to talk about teams at all.
Boston is a dynasty. The Spurs is a dynasty. So they both lost to some great teams. It's just that one was in the finals and one was in the playoffs. And how can he help that? That he got through the East and went and played the dynasty. I don't get it.
But I think you get more.
In 2007, he went. Hold on. In 2007, he went through that run, and then they said, "Nah, bro, we're going to bring this shit up in Boston with KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce."
Okay, but
that's what they did for LeBron. Now you want Braun to beat those guys when I'm telling you this is what be happening in 2010. Boston clearly just had a better team. Who the fuck? Nobody was prepared for that.
All right, watch this though. Watch this. What happened in 2010 when they lost? 2009. Let me ask you that question. When Boston wasn't there, and it was the Orlando Magic with Dwight Howard.
That was a phony team too, now? Or that was just whatever. Like they did go on the finals.
Who said no?
I was just asking. Like, do I gotta go down? They got Hito Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis. I think Rashard Lewis is better than Anthony Parker. I'm telling you, I'm explaining it to you. I think personally, Jameer Nelson is better than Mo Williams. I think those guys had a better team.
So hold on,
Michael Petras.
Let me put a nugget in there. So Jameer Nelson.
Did you bring up Michael Petras in this conversation?
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm saying they had him, but I'm saying like With Orlando,
No.
bro, I'm saying they had a bunch of guys that was there. I'm saying
Plain
compared
simple,
to
no.
I'm saying I'm comparing Michael Petras to Sasha Pavlovich, though. You got to think what I'm saying. I'm not comparing them to fucking D Wade.
What we saying right now is you are doing a lot of fucking capping for LeBron because it's no way in the world because the world was laid out for LeBron at his feet. They had a fucking campaign of the puppets for LeBron and Kobe that entire year. It was at his feet to win that fucking championship.
And bringing up unnecessary shit. You bringing up unnecessary shit.
3 straight years.
Let me ask you this question.
You bringing up unnecessary shit, bro.
Watch this though, Kev, because that is unnecessary. But I'm gonna say this. I'm going back to basketball. Who had the best record in the NBA that year?
Which year?
In 2009. In 2009, who had the best record?
Okay.
The Clans, right?
Which one was it? 66 and 16 year. That was that year?
Yeah.
That's and who's the MVP of the league in 2009?
LeBron.
And you got home court advantage, right? And this is why I said I'm keeping it on basketball.
Exactly.
What happened to LeBron James?
That has nothing to do with playoffs.
What happened to LeBron James throughout that Eastern Conference Final Series? Where was his production? Where was his numbers that could elevate and get his team to the next level like it did in 07? That's what I'm getting at. Because don't give me that thing about teams again, because I told you I'm trying to stay away from team. I'm talking about players here. So when
he should have won that series.
And when it's time for players in a 6-game series, he got outplayed by the best player
fucking Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard. He lost to Dwight Howard.
Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Who was a better big man than Dwight Howard that year? On that floor.
It don't matter.
On that floor.
LeBron was a better player.
Why does that not matter? Braun ain't guarding him. What the fuck? What is Braun gonna do with Ilgauskas guarding Dwight Howard? Y'all gotta make sense, bro.
In the league that year, who's the best player in the league?
Exactly.
So who was the MVP the year that they had 63 in the playoffs?
The MVP in 86 was Larry Bird.
And when did Jordan get his first MVP?
88.
So from 88 to what, 90? What was he doing? Why didn't he win the ring that year?
And you know why he didn't win the ring?
Why didn't he win the ring?
Because he didn't elevate his team, and this is what I knew you were doing. That's why I did what you did. He did not elevate his team enough in 1988 to beat a Detroit Pistons team. He even admitted it. He said he wasn't mentally strong enough and he wasn't physically strong enough to beat and build his team.
But Greg,
so we don't have a problem mentioning that now.
Hold on. Don't because you're burying the lead on 88. What else did he do in 88, Greg?
Defensive player of the year.
What else did Jordan do in 88?
Defensive player of the year.
He was the MVP.
Oh, okay.
He was both.
And he was MVP.
Yeah, he lost the whole league that year.
So you're making my point, Dan. Then why didn't he win the championship that year? I ain't asking you.
What I'm saying is,
why didn't he win the championship?
Suge, what my point was is when they both didn't win the championship, Jordan won defensive MVP too. That's what I'm saying about being greater, because we're talking about individuals. That's team shit. When we're talking about individuals, I'm putting Mike above LeBron because LeBron don't have no defense. Oh, and he got robbed. I'm going to keep it a buck. He did get robbed.
So if you're saying he got wrong, why are you bringing up defensive player of the year?
Because Mike did it in the same year. Mike did it in the same year.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, bro. I'm not disagreeing that he had a great season, but he asked me, LeBron got the MVP. Why didn't he beat he asked me, why didn't he beat the Magic? I'm saying that the Magic were clearly just better. That's all I said.
No, they weren't clearly better.
Why was
they weren't clearly better?
Bro, the regular season, I can go play New York and then go play Boston and then go play Sacramento, bro. It's not the same as the playoffs. And you know that. So let's stop bringing up a regular season record. Because if you really want to do that, then we're talking about 73 and 9 and Braun beat that.
No.
Braun beat a team that was better than Jordan team.
What we talking about is a measure of greatness.
They didn't win the championship because of one player, LeBron James, right? That's what we're doing, right?
Say that.
No,
I never said that.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying they didn't win a championship.
I'm saying
they didn't win a championship because LeBron didn't show up. That's what I'm saying.
No. That ain't what I asked.
Hey, Suge, real quick.
2015. I said because Greg brought up a regular season record.
Before
66 and 16. The Warriors were 73 and 9, which was better than Jordan, and Braun beat that team. So what are we saying?
Chug, hold up before you go there.
That's why he in
No,
the
Dad, don't answer.
regular
Dad,
season.
Dad, don't answer,
Go ahead.
Dad.
Go
Look,
ahead, Mike.
In
Go ahead, Mike.
88, Michael Jordan was not the number 1 seed in the East, right?
What does that mean?
Oh, listen, just see, that's what you ready to defend something that you don't defend. We just talked about LeBron team had the best fucking record in the NBA, right? They were the number 1 team. They lost 16 games, right? 16 games. There was a Mike team wasn't where LeBron team was at. When we compare these two teams that you just compared, Mike was there. Mike
Greg
was there.
You can't do that. You can't compare teams because the eras.
Yeah, I'm not comparing
what
teams.
you needed.
What
LeBron needed in 2009 was way different than what Jordan needed in 89 and 90. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. And 88.
All right.
That just don't make sense, bro.
Look,
That's what I be saying, bro.
No, this is my last point. I'm gonna did it on this because I gotta ask this question because I'm gonna go off of your first appearance when it mattered most, right? So Jordan goes to the finals in 91. And I'm gonna go not off of 07 because I'm gonna give you the pass with LeBron in 07 because I thought he took the worst team ever to the finals. I've been saying that all night. But I'm gonna go to 2011 when they go against Dallas. And LeBron's already been there. And LeBron's already been on the big stage as well as D-Wade. Can you tell me who was the leading scorer for the Miami Heat in 2011?
When finals?
Yes.
Playoffs or
and I'm only talking
the finals.
It's all I'm talking is the finals.
What it was D-Wade, right?
All right, now who was number 2?
It wasn't Bosh, it was somebody else. I don't know, but it might have been Bosh. Or
it was Chris Bosh. So now, and then LeBron was number 3. The point of what I'm getting at, right?
Okay.
This is what I'm getting at. And remember, I'm keeping it all on the court. If you are considered at the time in 2011 the best player in the game, there is no way in the world you should be the 3rd best player on your team in a finals. And that's what I get. That's where I get issue with LeBron. Because as a GOAT, and you're supposed to be the GOAT, you gotta elevate your game when it matters most. Forget the losing of the team losses, because you can sometimes look over that shit because you might match up in a bad matchup and you say, damn, I'm going up against 8 guys and I only got 3 guys. It's a bad matchup. But when I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, bro, 17, 7, and 6, when you just said Chris Bosh was washed when he got to Miami, right?
Why you keep saying I said the man was washed, bro? I never said that, bro.
All right, fine.
You know what? Names, bro. I said he just wasn't the same 26 and 13, which he did.
Take it back.
He didn't average 13 rebounds. That Braun don't stop rebounds.
All right, he wasn't the same. But Chris Bosh performed better than him in the finals in that.
Okay, so in that performance, what did Chris Bosh average? How many rebounds did he average that series?
19 and 7.
7 rebounds. What did he average in Toronto when he was the best player?
26 and 13. I'm not.
So all I'm saying is, so how does the 13 rebounds go to 7 just because of LeBron?
I'm about to tell you.
That has nothing to do with defensive rebounds and how you attack. If you gotta change your role, what role did he become if you're supposed to be the 3rd guy and doing the dirty work?
You gotta look.
You get 7 rebounds.
You gotta look at the way that they was playing offense. That Miami team was one of the first teams that really started doing the small ball shit.
Yeah.
Because
I get what you're saying. Okay,
they moved Chris Bosh,
but you're making a pointless point,
position.
though, Greg. Because how many did LeBron average in the 2019? I mean, in the 2025, he wasn't the leading scorer then, and they won the chip. So it don't even matter. It don't matter who doing all that because y'all don't care about none of that unless it has to do with LeBron, bro.
You're missing
and
what
losing.
I'm getting at. You're missing what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is this Michael Jordan, LeBron James comparison. And at the time of this comparison, LeBron James ain't on the year 16 or 17 when he was the point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm talking about when he was he came back and averaged 30, and you saying he's not the same scorer that he gave an older point guard. He averaged 30 last year. You still missing what I'm getting at, bro. You still missing what I'm getting 30. At. What I'm getting at is this. I'm talking about when you're in the biggest moments. Regular season is gonna do what you do, bro. I'm talking the big moments, the big.
So D-Wade was this superstar. What happened when Bron left? How many teams he been on?
See where you're going? I'm not.
How many teams he been on?
We are not talking
you
about.
telling me where niggas is superstars,
not talking
bro?
about Dwayne Wade or any other player.
I'm talking about for LeBron. We're talking about for LeBron. You telling me LeBron had all this and all of that, and I'm saying when they wasn't with LeBron, D Wade was on Chicago. He was on motherfucking
You're missing the point. We're not talking about others. We're talking about those two that's behind me. I'm talking about LeBron and Jordan. And when they're on their biggest stage and their biggest moments, I've watched more failures on their biggest moments from individual play from one than the other. I've watched.
So Jordan's only biggest moments was those 6 years in the finals. Out of all his 15 years of playing, only 6 years was important, and you watched him fail less times than he was successful.
Again, I just
6 out of 15 is that successful? No, it's not, bro. Braun spent half his league in the finals. He's going to bound to be losing some, bro.
6 out of 15 ain't successful because now you're going off of seasons. Again, you're going another route because if that's the case,
what are you talking about? 15 years is how many championships he could have won. 15 championships.
Because you said 6 out of 15, right? You said 6 out of 15. We talking averages if you're doing that. 6 out of 15. What's better? 6 out of 15 or 4 out of 19, which is about to be 4 out of 20.
That's cool.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not doing that.
But you said that like
I'm saying the biggest moments. When I say the biggest moments, I'm talking about this. If I see Jordan in 1986 and he put up 63 points, I watched him excel his game to a high level, just like
and lose every single game.
No, that's a playoff game that I was talking about when they played the Celtics and they lost in game 2. When I go with Cleveland with LeBron, when I watch LeBron go and give you 31 points out of 32 in Detroit and win a critical game 5, that's moments. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the championship mode. I'm talking about when the biggest stage, who excelled the best.
So if you're going off that and not the actual championships, how does he have more moments than LeBron? I know. I said if we're not going off of championships, how does he have more moments than LeBron?
How does he have more?
Listen what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you. The 63s and the 51, 8 and 8 that Bron he get them in the finals. He don't get swept in the first round. That's not Bron's fault. You can't hold his record that damn, bro. I went and took a team. I wasn't supposed to do that. Jordan didn't do that. The years he could have and should have, he didn't.
Okay.
But we don't bring up extra shit. I don't like bringing up Jordan like that, bro. I told niggas I like him, but the shit y'all do to go like doubt other people or put this on that nigga and then y'all don't keep it with anybody but LeBron.
And I think
it's only LeBron y'all say all this shit with. We don't talk about KD on the Warriors. We only talk about Bron and Jordan. So what I'm saying is if we're going to bring up Bron and Jordan, if that's a conversation, let's show both of them.
Guess what,
That's all I said. You can say he lost to Orlando and be like, cool, he lost. I can say he lost to Boston and say Jordan was cool. He lost to a better team.
Check this out, bro. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know who you talking to that always trying to find a way to knock, because that's not what happens on this platform. I'm not knocking any of them. What I'm saying to you directly is that the guy on my left is great, but the guy on my right is greater. And that's how I'm looking at it. We can continue this discussion on another day, but I appreciate you coming on. This BSN Presents Tell the Truth, yo. This was a good one. And we're going to continue this with some more because, in my opinion, this debate ain't over. We can talk about this all night long, but I got to get up out of here. Mike Dub, as usual, you know I love you, bro. I'll see you next time, man. Shug, get at you, man. I'm going to get off of here. Y'all can check it out. Watch the YouTube joint. BSN Presents Tell the Truth, yo. We here, man.